Say they been telling lies to us and keeping us blind. We the soldiers for your shot, you know we don't ride. We sick and we tired of them telling the lies. Say we gon' turn it all righteous, just give us some time. No, they heard about this righteous living.
TBT Radio Live.
We religious. Word around town, they say you with it. Hey, we just stick strictly to them scriptures. Yeah. No, they heard about this righteous living. Can't let them divide us with religion. Word around town, they say you with it. Hey, we just stick strictly to the scriptures. Yeah.
That first take was a righteous take, dang I messed up. That's a righteous take, still going in, ain't no doctor stay still in the spirit for how you say spitting fire. That's a lava take. Going action bottles ain't nothing fake, yeah we really with it and we really live it. First John 4 say take the spirit and we preaching it so we gotta live. Young Judas said I'm righteous living, so I'm righteous killing out the flesh, you walking in the spirit. They're like why you do it, cause Christ did it. When one mind, when one spirit, go reap for liberty. Paul did, the disciples, yeah they all live. While being demonized, we being demonized, cause righteous living being ostracized. They call us crazy, cause we ain't living life. And get religion and try to divide. Say Christian, we'll go follow Christ. You know we with it, we evangelize. Preach to the sheep and try to open eyes. You know the business, the righteous living life.
Hey, no, they heard about this righteous living. Can't let them divide us with religion. Word around town, they say you with it. Hey, we just stick strictly to the scriptures. Yeah. No, they heard about this righteous living. Can't let them divide us with religion. Word around town, they say you with it. Hey, we just stick strictly to them scriptures. Yeah.
I know you heard about this righteous living, and I'm like, what my people doing? All these unrighteous killings, and ain't got no sympathy. Why you all in your feelings? My Lord done with all the wicked time, almost up for repentance. Hey, I heard you ain't living like that. We in the scriptures, we living like that. Hey, the enemy envy like that, cause that's what he do, like Satan get back. I'm righteous living, so I'm righteous killing, moving out the flesh and walking in the spirit. Say shy you did it, come about the people, gotta live righteous, make it to the king. Know you heard it before, but my people feel it, time to rise up, cause we're a lost nation. Saving souls and rebuking Satan. James 4 and 7, do it on the daily. Israel, it's time to come back. I know them demons, I know they be mad. Hey, I just rejoice and be glad. Your Judah me praise, so I'ma do that. Hey,
no, they heard about this righteous living. Can't let them divide us with religion. Word around town, they say you with it. Hey, we just stick strictly to them scriptures. Yeah. No, they heard about this righteous living. Can't let them divide us with religion. Word around town, they say you with it. Yeah. Hey, we just stick strictly to them scriptures. Yeah. We stick to the script, the way it's written. We don't do religion. SFC's featuring the rock, cause we still in the spirit. They say bang.
TBT Radio Live.
How you did it, knew my mind. Through the word, let me tell you, I had to come back to the law. I had to cut some people off. I had to see what Christ was about. I had to really go and count the cost. I had to slide. I had to put my pride to the side. They wonder why, cause I'm not trying to see their fire. Hey, get him on my mind, you. I have to remind you. Feeling for the script, let me get another line, you. Gotta feel the spirit. Either with it or you blind to the fact that we fight against spirit. Went from royalty to poverty, trying to go where we came from. Feel like Christ is hard, and I say that in my faint voice. No, they heard about this righteous living. Can't let them divide us with religion. Word around town, they say you with it. Hey, we just stick strictly to them scriptures. Yeah. No, they heard about this righteous living. Can't let them divide us with religion. Word around town, they say you with it. Hey, we just stick strictly to them scriptures. Yeah. Say they been telling lies to us and keeping us blind. We the soldiers for your shot, you know we don't ride. We sick and we tired of them telling the lies. Say we gon' turn it all righteous, just give us some time. No, they heard about this righteous living. Can't let them divide us with religion. Word around town, they say you with it. Hey, we just stick strictly to them scriptures. Yeah. No, they heard about this righteous living. Can't let them divide us with religion. Word around town, they say you with it. Hey, we just stick strictly to the scriptures. Yeah.
That first tape was a righteous tape. Dang, I messed up. That's a righteous tape. Still going in. Ain't no doctor stay still in the spirit for how you say spitting fire. That's a lava tape.
Shalom. All right.
Shalom, family. Can y'all hear? I know y'all should be able to hear us. We got our board up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hope y'all doing well out there.
TBT fam, shalom. How's everybody doing?
Shalom to all the fam that's in here. Hope to hear from you all on this topic. Don't y'all leave us out there hanging now.
For real, for real.
We just here to perform.
Don't leave us hanging.
Oh, look this man. we just providing the platform that was given to us from the great I am. So y'all come in, talk to us about it. Let us know what y'all wanna, got to say, what y'all feel about it, and gonna build tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So it looks like our topic tonight is, what is the culture? Yeah.
So we're gonna give y'all a little time to come on in. You got anything else you want to play right quick?
Con.
So wait up. We're gonna run. We're gonna run the mission statement, right?
Yes, sir.
Run that. Then we're gonna play another song, and we're gonna dive right back into it. We're gonna come back. We're gonna get into it.
All right.
We
at TBT Radio Live podcast and radio station aim to embrace those who are making a positive movements that will take our people and all peoples in the right direction in all areas of life by way of entertainment, arts, spirituality, and overall entrepreneurship mindset.
So that's what we stand for, what we're building on, and we plan and we pray to get greater and greater at what the Most High has given us and trusted us with here at TBT Radio. So as your brothers and sisters come on in, we seeing those numbers coming on in. Appreciate everyone coming in. Let's have a great show. We're gonna play another track. We're gonna dive right into the topic.
Con.
Stick with us.
What is this?
Hey, they been telling lies to us and keeping us blind. Say we the soldiers for you know we gon' ride.
Yo,
Bands!
what's down?
I heard you was in that pen and now you finally out. I know you talking about turning up. Look, man, I got the weed, I got the drink. I just met a nice honey on Facebook, man. Let's do it, man. Let's go back, man. Let's turn up. Let's turn up, man.
Man, look. The words say in 1 John 2:15, love not the world, neither the things that are in it. If any man love the world, the love of the Father ain't in him. The words say that the world is passing away and the lust in it. Hey, you can have the gold and the diamonds, the clothes is designer. It don't strike my interest no more. I give it up. I'm serious. You can have the gold and the diamonds, the clothes is designer. It don't strike my interest no more. I give it up. Hey, I'm serious. Look, you can have all of the finest, the gold and the diamonds, but reject the knowledge. Tell me what will it profit? In the street with the Bible, finna start a revival. We preaching to the sheep, we the modern day prophets. Ain't knowledge better than diamonds? Hey, is wisdom better than gold? And all you're getting, get understanding. Hey, and do not lean on your own. They getting that sack and I see them flexing, man. Hitting the club and make sure they section straight. And after the club, they head back to section 8. Why shoot your brother when you can't shoot toward them heaven gates? Them heaven gates. You can have the gold and the diamonds, the clothes is designer. It don't strike my interest no more. I give it up. I'm serious. You can have the gold and the diamonds, the clothes is designer. It don't strike my interest no more. I give it up. I'm serious.
We're We're back, family. Okay, we're gonna dive on in. Shalom to all the listeners. As you see, our topic tonight is what is the culture? And here shortly we're gonna get Chop to show us what the culture is. He's gonna give us some insight on what the culture is. And we're gonna build on this topic. For those that are interested in coming in, do we have the number in the pen?
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. There we go.
So for those, that's the number.
Okay. Let's see if we can get it from the last time.
1 second, we're gonna get that number for you all. For those interested in calling in. It says low on the end.
The audio. So our audio is low. Let us know which one is low. Our voices is low. So we can know which one we need to turn up.
Yeah. She said she can barely hear us.
Okay, can y'all hear us a little bit better now? Yeah, y'all should hear us a lot more better now. Y'all should hear us a lot. Let us know.
Okay. We got one con.
Okay. So let me
say one more time for that Zoom information. What we gonna do, because that's the old number, so we want to make it as simple as possible for you all. So we getting that number for you all right now. That way it's a universal number where everyone could call in directly instead of trying to figure out which number you have to use for your particular area.
Where did you have sent that number at the other day?
I sent it to alright, let me send it to you.
Okay, cool. Put it in the messenger. The messenger. Okay. Yeah. This here culture.
Yeah, this one right here it's a broad conversation. So
yeah, so make sure y'all go ahead and, like, when we get that number up here, y'all go ahead and call in and get y'all spill on it. That's it right there. Okay.
Yeah, those two. Like I said, if you got family members, friends that you've had these different type of conversation about what's going on in our communities, hey, tell them come on through. We want to hear what they have to say. Like I said, we don't want to mute anybody, but we got a mute button, so it's cool. If there's any thing that's it's not welcome, but we welcome different points of views. But we know the main point of view. We know what that stand on. It's not ours. It's not. It's Christ. It's the truth, right? That's why this is the truth be told. So we're gonna get ready to dive in. All right. So we're gonna pull up. Culture.
Alright, so about to get into this here culture real quick. Alright, y'all ready? Boom. Cardi B's daughter, culture. That's what we about to get ready to get into right now. Cardi B's daughter, culture.
Chop. That's not it.
But not. Hold on. You wait. You're for sure. Hold on.
That's not.
I for sure thought that's what we was talking about today. Little culture.
No, that's not the topic. You have to come on with it. That's not culture. That's not the culture, man.
My bad. I guess I'll be the first one to get her.
Wrong. That's wrong, brother. But nah. With all seriousness, we're talking about the culture in our communities. What has been really either pushed on us. Let's see. It says what determines our culture? What is culture? We're going to get the definition of it, right? But the thing is, what determines our culture? Should we just accept everything that's promoted to us or about us? Let the truth be told, family. But that's not it. and as you can see, you know, culture, we know, I think we underestimate what we bring as a culture.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about it a little bit. So we're going to Wikipedia, something called Wikipedia, right?
Right.
We're going to...
Make sure I got that volume up there. That good.
Yeah. So we're going to touch on this. Why am I going to Wikipedia?
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because, you know, we're in an age where the youth, they're going to Google everything, right?
Right.
Even we Google a lot of things, right? So typically, they're going to uphold what we're about to go into as the truth and nothing but the truth. So let's go into it, see if we agree with it. Like I said, we just bringing out the points. We're bringing out some things that we've noticed. If you got something that you've been studying or that you know that's concrete, like I said, call in. The number is pinned at the top for the call-in number in the pen, and we want to hear from you all. But here, we're going to give our spiel, our directive of what we've come across, and just going to build from there, right? So we're going to get this first paragraph. Then we're gonna read the whole thing. Don't expect that now.
Right.
You're gonna read the whole thing. You're gonna read it on your own, but we're gonna read some of it, and then we're gonna jump down and tie it back to what we tend to stick to here at TBT Radio, right?
Factuals.
All right. So it says African American culture. Yeah.
See if we can blow that up.
Yeah. So I don't want nobody squinching their eyes. There it is. Here. Okay.
Up, a little bit too big.
Yeah, I think that's
Right there. That good right there?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
That's
All right,
good
we
for
on
y'all.
point.
So here it goes. It says African American culture refers to the contribution of African Americans to the culture of the U.S. either as part of a distinct from mainstream American culture. The distinct identity of African American culture is rooted in the historical experience of the African American people. Right? The historical experience of the African American people. So what we went through or have encountered historically has shaped what? Our culture. Do we consider this? Right? Including the Middle Passage. For those that may not know what the Middle Passage is, it's the passage in which how did we get here?
Right.
Which is the transatlantic slave trade. Which is one of the pivotal points that is one of the main topics spoken about in a lot of the circles in the African American community. Some people try to write it off and, you know, make it void, but you can't jump over that Middle Passage. Mm-hmm. It's even included in something as a factor in our culture.
Right.
Right? Did the Middle Passage have something to do with what we're doing and how we think and how we operate at this present day? If you got some insight you want to talk about that, call on in. The number's up top, right? The culture is both distinct and numerously influential on Americans and global worldwide culture as a whole, right? So before we go to the next paragraph, we want to show how influential the African American culture is. Let's pull up that picture.
All right, let's get that picture going here. Uh-oh. Where you at?
Yes. There it is.
Boom.
Everybody see what we got going on here? You see what we got going on here?
Culture.
Full-blown Caucasian, or what we may know is his real ethnicity. Edomite, right? So he had to go get that Jew cut, that brew cut right there.
That Jew tape. Slow to the left like Gumby.
That boy fresh, ain't it?
Yeah. That boy too fresh.
So that just show. This is just showing like how we through our culture. This is something that we definitely prize on, which is our appearance. Our people love to be fly, fresh, whatever you want to, call it. Had that sauce, right?
Yeah.
Look at this boy here. Now, notice what he said though. He says him.
Right.
It's this black woman at my job. Barbara say less.
Wow.
Stop the cap.
Puts him in the game, right? Puts him in the game. But they were drawn to our culture.
Right.
So the thing is, are we going to understand and if we want to misuse our power to influence, or we're going to use it for a greater cause? So like I said, I'm just showing y'all that, keep the humor into the show, right?
Right.
But let's go to that next paragraph. All right. What paragraph we're going to now? Now, I'm not going to read this one. Like I said, you can go into it. But on the third paragraph, it pretty much speaks about what we all have to know. We are definitely a spiritual people. It talks about how spirituality came with us to the American shores, right? So that's a given, in the sense that we've always had within our mind and our way of thinking that we must give reverence to a higher and supreme being or creator.
Mm-hmm.
We all can agree on that, right?
Factual.
So that's a part of our culture, right? Even through all we've been through, we've maintained some level of faith or belief in spirituality, right?
Yep.
So we're going to go down to, let's see, paragraph 6. So let's see. Go down.
Paragraph 6.
Go down. Yeah, I think that's it right here.
Here?
Yeah.
All
right, watch that. All right. Paragraph 6, it says, for many years, African Americans' culture developed separately from American culture, both because of slavery and the persistence of racial discriminations in America. So it states that our culture was birthed through slavery and the persistence of racial discrimination. So this had a big part to play in our culture, our way of doing things, our way of thinking.
So what it's saying is everything that's in our culture now, we kind of adopted from, or gravitated towards, from the result of being enslaved and going through all the traumatic stress and different things that we go through. Like even the N-word, that being something a part of our culture, gravitated towards that word because of what? Slavery. They called us the N-word all the time. So now we taking the word back for ourselves, which is, just being honest, ignorance in itself. Taking something back that was used to hold you and the rest of your parents down, and even you today, if somebody outside of our ethnicity called us it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, man. So other people can't call us that, but we can call us. That's a known term amongst us. But like I said, a lot of the things that we accept stem from how we were treated unfairly here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keep reading. As well as African American slave descendants desire to create and maintain their own traditions, today African American culture has influenced American culture and yet still remains a distinct cultural body.
Mm.
So we'll talk about some of these things. I know we got Dick Balas. See if you want to speak about that before we go to the next point.
Dick, you in, Dick?
Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yeah,
I can hear you now. Let's see if we can get your visual up in here real quick, man. So, everybody, welcome, love brother, Deacon, and sponsor. Deacon Balas
in the building.
in the building. So I told y'all that I was gonna get my shofar popping. I told y'all I was gonna get my shofar popping. Yes. High honest.
Sound like the second coming.
You got a little bit of the features going on there. I see. But on what we're talking about so far, man, I know you was kind of in on wanting to have this topic to be spoken on the show, the culture. So from some of the points, did you hear some of the things we've already brought out so far? I think this goes along the lines of some of the things you wanted to speak on when it comes to our mindset towards business. Now, seeing that it states that our mindset and our acceptance of pursuing things as a whole and collective stems from slavery, racial discrimination. Do you think that these things are still plaguing us or affecting us when it comes to business or where we conduct ourselves among brethren or, in the hoods, in the projects, whatever it may be? What say you, man?
Well, first and foremost, praise the Most High. We on here having this discussion, and just gonna give glory to Him. Drop some seeds of thought amongst the brothers and sisters, and hopefully encourage some action in the light of Christ, Yeshua. So, my thought behind the culture. Culture is what determines one's personality and one's characteristics, and it affects, of course, your thought process. Building your culture is important for your family, for people that come into your life. So, however, being Black, we were adopted into a culture. We didn't build our own. Being Black in America, we was adopted, some people. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say adopted. Maybe I should say we was forced into a particular culture. Some people have, we more so are inheriting a culture that we really don't want. I mean, some people don't want. Some people have taken the route of, oh yeah, let's be a part of this. Some people know nothing else, no other culture. Growing up in the hood, it was rare that you heard anything about you knew what an Asian was, you knew what somebody from the Middle East was, you knew what an Ethiopian was, you knew very little about the culture. So what we about to talk about tonight is going to be imperative to our everyday goings, because the Bible in particular really does narrow down how your culture should be concerning the Most High.
Right, because we know that's the ultimate conclusion. So we're going to definitely, we can't go without speaking on that aspect of the culture. So I know a lot of people may have thought that's what we're going to dive into first. We will, right? But we want to identify what is being accepted now. So if you could run off a couple of the things that we or us as African Americans are accepting as okay and thumbs up, which I know a while back they people are quick to say cancel culture, but they ain't counseling some of the cultures that need to be counseled. So if you could put some things under a bracket, and this was for you all as well, you could put it in the chat, call in. What are some cultural acceptances that we need to counsel?
Let's do it right now.
So let me say this real quick. When it comes to African American culture or Black, what is the first symbol that come to mind when you say African American or Black? First symbol. Okay.
Black power.
Okay. What they represent? Black power. Right? So symbols are a big part of culture. For me, it was Black man. When it come to a symbol in black culture, it's the black man.
Mm.
Everybody has in their mind an image of what culture is, a symbolic reference to what culture is. So anything that's shown on television, on radio, on the internet, if it projects an image, it's going to entail the type of culture that's being personified.
Right.
So if somebody looking at you and saying you black, but you giving off these white aspects, they're gonna be thinking, oh, that's part of black culture. So some parts of it got to go. Some
We got
part.
somebody in the chat that just said dress code.
Right. So let's get to specifics, right?
Yeah,
so
let's get into the specific of that.
Dress code.
Yeah.
So we got a sister said our dress code we need to change up our cultural viewpoint on the way we dress.
So go ahead and call in.
Yeah, because we want to hear
Like-
from a woman's perspective, right?
Right.
What do you mean by that, Sister Brittany Frazier? Call in and let us know. The number is at the top. It's pinned at the top. We would love to hear from you. What do you mean by that?
First thing that came to her mind was the dress code for African American or black culture. Well, what does that entail? For me, it's baggy clothes. For somebody else, it's these tight clothes. That don't fit.
That's right.
Y'all see what I'm saying?
Cancel it.
So, but we got
saying?
but with that, it seems like we got to find that happy medium, right? Because we don't want the tighty whities, right? And I'm talking about, man, I think we're gonna show some pictures on that, man. We got some pictures we want to show on that.
But you showing pictures because these are representations
Right,
of
like
culture.
like you said, like when you mention culture, an image coming to your head, like even just speaking of what Wikipedia or Wikipedia, whichever one you want to say, how it describes how our culture, how African, quote unquote, African American culture is built. We already got an image in our head. When they say everything in there, it's already ingrained and depicted in our head that, black people culture leap off into other people. Yeah, grills in the mouth, dreads, tattoos in the face.
Look, somebody said music. Well, what type of music come to mind when we talk about black or African American culture?
We're gonna talk about it. Cause like, as we're gonna read in here, I'm gonna jump through. Like, so we bring in some of the general topics first, but we're gonna tie it all the way back, right? So we're gonna read some more. But
one more second, because somebody else said language. Now that's another part. That's not symbolic. That's another part to culture. So when you start divvying down what culture is, well, you got images, then you got behavior, then you got language. Now, all these things, when you say that culture is very broad.
yes,
But you begin to narrow down by what the type of culture you want to mention. And then what comes to mind when you say African American? See, these are things then we gotta begin to change. Because they're from the sand of the seas aspect, we talk about business culture.
And see, that's what I know you was heavy on that. Like when this topic came out, that's what we think about, the business side of it. Cause man, we definitely got some work to do on the business side of our culture. We need some more tools and all that to work that thing out. So and we got somebody say diet. So all these things play a part, right? Because that's going to be key for one of the points we'll bring on later when it comes to generational, right?
Exactly.
So let's dive in, because like it even speaks about the food a little bit. And for Humble Servant Homestead, we want y'all to call in and give us some insight on that. On what we need to get back to culturally when it comes to the food and the diet. So let's scroll down.
All right. As soon as I can find this mouse.
There you go.
Sometimes that thing be getting lost.
I think I'm gonna going to jump on one. Go down. Let me see. Go up right quick. Go up.
Okay.
See. Okay, we'll go down. Keep going. On down. All right, right here, right quick. All right, so I'm gonna read this second paragraph. It says African culture or African American culture, slavery, slave rebellion, and the civil rights movement has shaped African American religion, familia, political, and economic behaviors. The imprint of Africa is evident in the myriad of ways in politics, economics, language, music, hairstyle, fashion, dance, religion, cuisine, and world views. Now, when it comes to the cuisine, right, a lot of that's big in our culture as well. Like this is said, diet. Like they even have a whole list of, what we use, what we love to eat, and y'all already know some of the things. You got we stereotype with the watermelon, the fried chicken,
Grape pop.
Yeah, and we're known for these bad diet habits, right?
Mm-hmm.
But look what it says as well. So I wanted to highlight that because we're going to touch on the diet side of things. But it said our world views, we're barely, keeping things together in our immediate homes or in our own homes or households, let alone having a view on world views. Is this something that we should fix, change, educate ourselves on, right? I didn't even catch that when I first read that, but we need to change our world views. And through becoming more conscious of who we are, especially for those that know that they are from the stock and the lineage of the children of Israel, that alone helped us look at things differently versus when we just thought we was thugs and Baptists or whatever, religiously, or just man, woman, and just the things that was promoted to us. That's why we asking, like, okay, how do we change these things? Why do we need to change these things? Because it helps enhance our worldview. But if all we're battling with is diabetes, tying to the diet, right? Mm-hmm. What's the other thing we said? Dress code. All we're caught up in is, sexual desires. Because a lot of these things trigger these thoughts. I said we're gonna speak on it in its entirety, but we have to speak on these things, talk about it, and get to some level of conclusion and agreement. Like even division is something that that is a cultural acceptance. We're driven by division. It's so much division within our communities, it's not even funny, right? And we're going to speak on a little bit of it. Let's go to African American family structure. Speaking of division. Let's mute them right quick.
All right. You come in, mute us in the background if possible.
Yeah. So we got another caller in. Appreciate y'all coming in. We're gonna open the floor for y'all in a second. So we're gonna speak about African American cultural. Go down to the African American family structure. You gotta go down. We're gonna come back to her later.
Boy, this thing deep.
Yeah, because it's a lot that we play a big part in the world, but we're not getting we did not get no credit for it, or we're not aware. Like it stated earlier, we're very influential. Go up a little bit. Then go down. There, go right there. We're very influential, but we don't understand it. We don't understand how influential we are as a people. Mm-hmm. We're just going with the flow. But we seem to always be on the flow.
Right.
At the bottom. Right? So here we go. African American family structure. After this, we're gonna play a clip that, man, how far we've gotten away from the family structure. But it says immediately after slavery, African American families struggled to reunite and rebuild what had been taken. As late as 1960, when most African Americans lived under some form of segregation, 78% of African American families were headed by married couples. At that time, this number steadily declines during the later half of the 20th century. For the first time since slavery, a majority of African American children live in a household with only one parent, typically the mother. Is this what we're going to do about that?
Right.
Can we do anything about that? Should this be accepted? Or should we cancel it? Let's keep reading, right? All right, well, let's get you there.
Yep.
All right. So it says this apparent weakness. You hear that? This apparent weakness is balanced by mutual aid systems. What is that? Your government assistance, right?
Right.
All right. Established by extended family members to provide emotional and economic support. Older family members pass on social and cultural traditions such as religion and manners to younger family members. In turn, the older family members are cared for by younger family members when they cannot care for themselves. And that's not even happening like it needs to be. Got a lot of people complaining about, in our communities, complaining about how their grandmothers or their elderly are being mistreated in these family homes or these, what they call them, old folks homes, or I forgot exactly the term, but because we are so caught up in living our best life, we forgot about the elderly. So that part is not even happening like it needs to. These relationships exist at all economic levels in the African American community, providing strength and support both to the African American families and communities. That's not happening
At all.
Last one. It says 56% of African American children are born to unmarried mothers.
Whoo! I had an article that I was gonna pull for that exact one. And don't get me wrong, women that have that are single parents, they can make gold out of nothing. They prevail in a time of trouble. My mama was one of those people that prevailed in a time of trouble, on up to buying a house and being successful at her job and different things like that, and still being able to maintain me and my two other brothers and my sister. So, not speaking down on that at all, but it was an article not an article, but it was like it was a sister. She had, she was showing her sons as kings. And it was like, man, that's dope. And she was showing, then it was another picture flipped to her and her two sons with her crown and him and them being next to her. And I'm like, man, this look real nice. It's real positive. And I'm thinking that the next slide was gonna be a man in the picture. No, it was a whole brand new baby in the picture. And it and to me, I know other people probably looking at it like it's still good, like it's all right, but it's ingrained in our mind that our culture is to see our women without a man around. And she had and she looked at like she was on a positive roll, how she had herself put together, how she had her children put together. But then the last picture, it just kind of threw everything down the drain for me, because it was like, boom, she just popped up with a new baby. It's like, dang, not speaking down on the sister, but it's like, why are we continuing in this same culture of women dealing with men that's not committing to them?
Right. Or even, and like I said, it's we got to let the truth be told. Women, why are you opening yourselves up to, different activities without that commitment?
Mm-hmm.
It says 56%. Go ahead, man.
They gonna real quick. They gonna have to start like, and what we all gonna have to do across the board. Gonna have to start treating relationships like a job. I want to see your resume. I want to see your resume. I need to know that you gonna do the job that you say you come to do.
So can we get a seal of approval for the culture on that?
Can we get a seal of improvement? Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna do resumes before anything else. Can we get it? Oh, we got a big con on that.
That's right.
So it's up to us. That's why we talking about it. Like, it's up to us. I said we're not gonna stay on this point long, but I mean these points ourselves we're gonna tie you know that what we have, but we're willing to hear from you all. But go ahead, D. So you got something before I go to the next point. I mean, finish on.
Too.
Okay. I was just gonna add to that. Like, one big problem with the African American culture is that, you know, it's hard not being offensive. You know what I'm saying when it comes to these topics, because
it's TBT.
we actually
let the truth be told.
Okay, but I'm just saying us as a community, we actually glorifying the wrong things. So if we are being conversing, we saying, look, this is wrong, you know, it tends to offend, and sometimes it hurts to hear that we were wrong, but praise the Most High that we repenting as a nation and we changing and we coming into the right path. So with that being said, the intro into the hard hitter is that, you know, it's unfortunate, but our community is glorifying single mothers and not husband and wife. And it's not even just our community. It's the people who prey on our community. Oh yeah, let's put the single mother with children up. And somebody did a video, and I don't know if it was Kevin Samuels, but he was like, man, you can't say that you were successful and you failed in marriage. That don't make you successful. You have to say that you failed in marriage. You might have been successful in bringing up a young child and putting them through college. And that might have been success, but you failed to keep a man. Now, or you failed to keep a woman. So it's not just, you know, to the women, it's also to the man. You failed in that aspect. And you should say that that's part of that is actually part of your part of introduction. Like, man, I raised these children perfectly, but me and the woman failed. And that way it won't be glorified in saying, dang, you did this as a single woman, which is awesome. But man, we have to now say, let's take into accountability. We supposed to keep our wives. We supposed to keep our husbands and glorify that.
Glorified.
That's right.
So that's the image of God, right? So I'm gonna finish this. It says African American parents are more likely to be strict and to hold demanding standards for behavior. In 1998, 1.4 million African American children lived in a grandparent's home.
And even when I did the what's the thing called on Mr. Young Dolph, both his parents in that time, and that was a whole lot of things that had happened. And he said that was typical around that time, that it would come, you know, that children would be raised by their grandparents. What was that? I think that would be like the early 90s. When things like that had happened.
So do we have the fortitude within us to make this change? Is it something we should just the reason why I'm bringing it out is this something we just got to brace ourselves and say, okay, this is who we are, this is how we operate, ain't no changing it.
Right.
If that's the case, let the truth be told. Speak your piece. So we're going to bring in one of our other callers here. They want to speak. But if you would like to speak, call in. The call-in number is 646-568-7788. And the meeting ID number is 806-442-0631. All right. Shalom to our brothers and sisters at Humble Servant Homestead.
All praise to the Most High.
Let's give them a round of applause as they come.
Family.
So, what would you all like to tell us about on this topic? What is something that you see, or that you're willing to do or doing to better us as a culture or as a people?
Well, I mean, all praises be to the Most High. We have to give him all the praise and honor. But, as far as for us as Black people, and one of the things that we can do better to better ourselves, as far as with culture is pretty much, as what you see we're doing to help the people and getting them back into doing that is, get back outside and start growing our own food. And, because that was one of the big things that our forefathers did, was they tend to their food, tend to their herd, they planted their own food, and that's one of the things that we have to get back to. But the thing about it is that society make it where that everything is so easily to reach with our hands, and not, using it to go outside and actually grow something. Everything is microwavable right now, where that everything is just so like convenient.
Relying on the system.
Yeah,
and the grocery store buy everything you want, everything you need. And it stocked up on the shelf in the store.
And it kind of spoils us to the degree to where it makes us so lazy. Because the scriptures say a man shall live by the sweat of his what? Brow. And if we ain't out there working, we don't really have an appreciation for it. Because I spoke to a guy, and y'all let me know if I'm wrong. And I feel like the Spirit had delivered this to me. He was telling me that how crops and everything grow. Because we trying to shop at farmers markets more now versus going to the store to go grab things. Because and we also found out that they trying to stump out the people that's actually growing organic food. They are stumping them out bad, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I'm getting to the point of what I'm speaking at here. He was telling me that certain fruits and vegetables and herbs grow in different parts of the year. So the first thing that hit me, he was like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to get strawberries at this part right here. So if you like strawberries, they don't grow into this point. And I was like, okay, cool. The first thing that hit me was the Father put a dietary plan for us and how things grow in the earth. That's what we're supposed to eat in that season, because it's supposed to help the body in that season.
Absolutely.
So am I right or wrong?
You are correct. You are correct.
Man, all praise to the Most High. Look.
I want to touch on something y'all spoke on. Like we have a lack of appreciation. That's growing as a mindset, because I know in my household and me growing up, we didn't believe in no wasting no food, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like the children nowadays, they get complacent and think that food is just, it do grow on trees, but it was more work to get it, right? So getting out there and putting your hand to the plow, you appreciate a meal more. I think y'all spoke on that before, right? If y'all want to, y'all can speak on it a little bit more. But
well, I mean, it's a beauty just even to go outside and harvest something and bring it back inside and cook it. I remember back home as a little youngster coming up. Your parents would put a plate before you, and you're gonna eat what is before you. You don't have an option to where that I want this, I want that. And society make it so today where that it's so much different variety of stuff that people can go to and get. But the thing about it is, when they shut all that down, what are the people going to do?
What we gonna have?
Right.
Why not get in the mindset now? And that's why I'm glad y'all came on. And see, we got to talk about this. Well, our mindset has to change.
Yes.
When it comes to, I won't get too political today, but we know who was that? What's his name? The philanthropist. Bill Gates of what they call him, Bill Gates of Hell, right?
Bill Gates of West Hill.
Yeah. He bought up all the farmland, right?
Oh,
right.
What is the purpose of all that?
GMO.
Right. On top of I don't know if y'all seen. I think it's like a lot of the industrial companies that was producing a lot of the food burned down. I don't know if y'all heard about that.
Burned down, catching fire. Yeah.
What? Y'all better wake up.
Chain. They're interrupting the food chain. If the plants are not producing this microwave food that we're so quick to run to the store and buy, that's an interruption. So then now what? There's nothing there. What you gonna do?
And it's all a level of control as well. Because if you got to understand that food is a basic necessity that people need. It's almost like if you don't have food, you pretty much, you could have all this thing in the world, right? Or you could have all the money, all the gold. But if you don't have food to sustain your body, to be able to spend that money, be able to spend that gold or whatever like that,
life's short.
Your life is short. You cannot live without food. And so that's why I'm trying to push it to where that people can understand and get back to that, because it's a life source. Food is a life source, because you can, what is it? They give people 3 days without food or water. People can go longer than that.
1 day without food and 3 days without water, 7 days without water, something like that. But, what they say.
But you kind of understand where I'm coming from. But if you don't have the food, how long you think you're going to live for?
Right.
And I guess it's tied in with culture. Our purpose of doing what we're doing is to just help us to get back to what it was that we were doing. That's our key to being self-sufficient. When the Most High say be set apart, that's us being set apart. Not being with, the world and on that hamster wheel of running to the store to get this and get that, but growing it ourselves, providing it ourselves.
But if I'm saying, at one point,
control the food source, you control a lot.
Right. So at one point, this was our culture, though. How did we get so far away from it? So I want to speak one point that he's agreeing with what y'all was saying. This is Hebrew Harris. He says people are spending money on material things and barely got enough to eat.
Right.
Is a normal thing for us, cars, clothes, and jewelry.
And look, you'll be surprised. I'm going to tell you this. I'm a real estate agent. And if you would go into some of these luxurious communities, the houses on the outside look immaculate. When I take buyers inside those houses to view the inside of the houses, the inside of the house looks nothing like the outside. All the money that people have spent to upkeep the outside and keep up with the Joneses, no food in the pantry, nothing in the refrigerator. You wouldn't even be able to, it's different, I'm telling you. But we keeping up with the Joneses because that's the culture.
So wait, if I might say something, I want you to speak your piece. And please don't forget it. So one thing we're highlighting right now, we know we're speaking for the Hebrew community or the African Americans, right? But it's looking like we're transitioning into the American culture. Have we been trained with the American culture to think, to lean and depend on certain things that don't really matter?
Right. Materialistic.
Materialism, right? But go ahead, Doc.
Another thing is, as a culture thing that I can, help to share with our people. Don't live above your means.
Say it again. Could you say that one more time? Because that is definitely an African American culture that needs to be canceled. Could you say that again, please?
Right. Don't live above your means. Because the thing about,
sorry. Look, I'm getting used to it. It's the buttons.
Right. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. But it's the thing about it is everybody is trying to keep up. And the thing about it is, you know, if this is where you are today, and this is what you can afford today, and this is what you can take care of today, do that. Don't try to do anything to impress anybody, because you know, you miss the whole big picture of life, you know?
But that's the culture. Society has taught us to do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. You know?
Dang, boy. And it's like we keep on going down this funnel of this culture that we like, because like it ain't even them creating the culture for or us, like Deacon was saying earlier, like us being forced into a culture no more. It's like we're creating a brand new breed of culture, different than our parents and our grandparents. It's like every year our culture get tainted worse and worse because of our mindset and our ideology that we formulate, and this euphoria that we formulate of what life is supposed to be like.
So, and we're going to touch on that right now. We're going to show this clip. Now, it's very shocking. It's going to tie back to the family structure, and it's going back to the African Americans / so-called African Americans, but the Hebrew Israelites, what we're going to call us, we got to get back to that culture. We're going to talk about that. But watch this clip right here. This is the youth, because we got to point this out. This is the next generation. Now, y'all watch this. Watch this.
No, did it go? Yep, yes. It's muted.
All right,
there we go.
You know her boyfriend?
Yeah.
Why you smile when I asked it?
I always smile.
I'm gonna call you later, man.
No, answer my question. What y'all be doing?
I'm gonna call you later.
No. What do y'all be doing?
All right, what's your name?
Naya. Ka.
Where y'all from?
Enforcement. Martinsville.
Y'all best friends? Y'all sisters, cousin?
We friends.
Y'all friends? How long y'all been knowing each other?
Like the beginning of the school semester.
What school y'all go to?
ODU.
Hey, nigga, bring your moment. You got a boyfriend?
No.
You got a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Let's go. How long you been dating?
For like a year.
Like a year? It's colder out here, man. But look, how the relationship been going?
It's going good so far.
Like, girl, you haven't seen any, like, you know what I'm saying, nothing like red flags or none of that?
Nah.
You trust your boyfriend?
Yeah.
Give me a good reason why you trust your boyfriend.
Because, like, he hasn't given me any reason not to. Like, he hasn't been on iffy.
Oh, I like that. You know her boyfriend?
Yeah.
Why you smile when I asked it?
I always smile.
Stop the cap.
How you know her boyfriend?
Because we're friends.
Because y'all friends? Y'all hang out before?
No.
Oh. You think her boyfriend cute?
No.
No? So you think her boyfriend ugly?
Yeah.
So let's say come down to it, right? And you got to date her boyfriend. Would you date her boyfriend?
No.
No? All right, but so basically today, right? I want to do a loyalty test with y'all, basically. So I want y'all to call each. Well, you don't have a boyfriend, so I want you to call her boyfriend, ask him to Netflix and chill behind her back, and see how he's gonna react. You cool with that?
Why I gotta call her boyfriend?
Because I want to do a loyalty test to see if like her boyfriend would like actually like hang out with you behind her back.
All right.
This should be entertaining.
Why you so iffy, bro?
Because why I gotta call her boyfriend?
Because it's a loyalty test. Like, you cool with it?
Yeah.
You cool? Why you not cool with it?
We can do it.
You got her boyfriend number?
No.
All right, give her your boyfriend number real quick.
Watch this, family.
Hello?
Hello?
What's good with you?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
What's up?
How you know her number?
You trying to chill later?
What you mean? Who you with?
I'm right here by myself. You trying to chill later?
Like, what you trying to do though? Like,
So much pain, build up deep. Netflix and chill.
How you already know her number? How you already know your number? And who this is?
what time you trying to come right now?
Later, like 8.
Yeah, I ain't got. I'm about to do something real quick. I'm gonna pull up.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
How you know your? Wait, hold on. How you know who you are? If you didn't have the number, and why the number set? Why is number saved in her?
That one there was a violation. Personally, I would.
Why is number saved in your phone?
Because it's my friend.
You got a boyfriend number?
No. You just said I want your friend.
You said you didn't have his number.
It's my friend.
Understand why you even did this to yourself. This made you look so stupid.
You just said I want your friend. It's my friend. Kai.
You said you didn't know him and you didn't have the number, so the number is saved. Then how you know who you was?
I don't know.
I'm done.
Yo.
What the fuck are you doing?
Who this?
It's Naya.
Ask him what they be
I'm
doing.
gonna call you later, man.
No, answer my question. What y'all be doing?
I'm gonna call you later.
No. What do y'all be doing?
He just banged on her.
Woo! And we're back.
You gonna, I know they probably got like a little 10 seconds on there.
Did y'all see that? This is the youth, though, right? This is what's going on.
This young generation.
Yeah.
Man. Is this the culture?
No,
Is this what's being set forth for the next generation?
Oh, when I saw this, when I first saw this, I was like, and a few of these be on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and stuff. I don't be on there as much as I used to, but I used to see a lot of these, and it sometimes it like the little things in between makes it funny. If those things wasn't there,
that would not be funny.
This would be something that's so not funny.
Right.
But they've found a way in our culture,
right,
to make light of betrayal.
Right.
This is did you hear what she said? She didn't know the dude number. She didn't even know him like that. They supposed to be friends. Man, you can see why Christ said in the last days that the love of many shall wax cold.
Wax cold.
Yeah.
Imagine this being you. Like everybody that's sitting here, right? On either end. What if this was you? How would you react?
Oh, she was calm.
Hey, it's
We've been boxing out there. I'm just gonna say that.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean,
it's
not everybody thinks certain things like that. Like,
yeah.
Especially when it comes to somebody that you supposed to love and X, Y, and Z like that. But the funny thing about it is, look how close that person is to her,
right?
As a friend.
Yeah.
And you doing that, to your friend. That's
But the culture says it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, and see, that's the thing. Like even the script say, like it like the attacks is gonna come from the inside.
Yes.
It ain't gonna really be much from the outside. It's gonna be, if I had to put a percentage on it, it'll probably be maybe 10% from the outside. And that's a slim chance that you gonna have an outside threat that can tactfully take destroy you or harm you in a lethal way.
So it's so many things going on wrong here. So if we dial it back a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't be no boyfriend, girlfriend anyway.
Right. That part.
What did we say earlier? We need to start doing what?
Getting background checks and everything. Right?
Look, you need to submit
Family's
your resume.
not even being consulted with before ones is even doing anything. But hey, we're gonna set the record straight under Christ. That's I don't want to jump before, but we highlighting the negatives, but that's the culture, right? You should be contacting. Is her dad okay?
Right.
Check. If you seeing and even communicating with his daughter, right? But
so that's before you move on, because it was I don't know, did we play it on this show? I believe that we did, but it was but if we didn't, I seen a video where it was a boy. I think he was like 16, 17 years old, And overnight he had snuck into this into this young lady's room. They were seeing each other. They was what, boyfriend and girlfriend. Father knew nothing about it. Mother knew nothing about it. Father hear things going on, come into the room. Hey, what you doing with my daughter? The boy like, look, I'm getting up out of here. Tries to get out. The man tries to hold him. The boy pulls out a gun. Him and the father tosses over it. The boy gets shot, gets shot in the leg, but the father gets shot and killed after the situation. Y'all, my mama taught me this one thing when I was younger. What you do don't just affect you, it affect everybody around you.
Yep.
It don't matter if you go to jail, if you get shot and killed, that affects somebody around you.
Yep.
So, this man lost his life due to his daughter doing things behind his back that she shouldn't have been doing. But that's the culture, though.
Yep. Unfortunately.
But you know, the question is, and I mean, man, it's so much young people out there that is already gone off the beaten path, and it's like, what can we do though to correct it or to bring awareness? Like that's not good. That's not, you know. And a lot of them think it's cool, but really and truly, it's not.
Right.
You know.
And we're gonna get to the root of some of it. Like I said, we're gonna tie it back to, you know, like what we typically stay on here. But like I said, I wanted to highlight that. So, and you hitting it on, Mike. So, but like I said, it shouldn't have been no boyfriend and girlfriend from the jump. It should have been what we call court. If you're gonna do anything, it should be courtship under guidance and supervision.
Supervision.
Of mother, father, church guidance, spiritual guidance. First place. All right?
Right.
So we got that part. Then we got the fact that we have betrayal in the mix. Full-fledged betrayal in the mix.
Yep.
And I say I ain't gonna die. I mean, everybody. I'm pretty sure everybody see the points in that particular clip on how this is a tarnished culture that we are allowing to form under our very eyes. And like, see, this is the thing though. What we called in the hood, what OGs are not taking responsibility for.
Right.
You got a lot of the OGs, especially if they're not trying to get their life right. They probably in the midst of this nonsense, trying to lay with the younger women and all. We ain't gonna go all the way up, but this is the culture, and we got to identify this thing. Why is this being accepted? You can counsel celebrities, but let's start at the root of it. We need to start counseling some of the things that's going on in our communities. So, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a quick break, and y'all hey, if you got, call in at 646-568-7788. Meeting ID is 806-442-6031. We're gonna come back. We got a couple more people in the queue that we're gonna bring in. We got a couple more points we're gonna touch on, but hey, what is the culture? Is this it? We'll be back.
My.
Jacob's the new beginning. The earth's been given in the hands of the wicked. So we about to tear down. 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 So we about to tear down. 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 Hey, shoot at the eye, catching the mind. Jacob got neck in the kingdom is not. Got in the sheep and we building the kingdom. We looking Satan and turn his down. Earth is playground. And we gon' tear it down. We got next, show us respect. The enemy working, he trying his best. His time is short and he needs some help. Can't be deceived, gotta stay on his neck or he'll use your vessel. Don't be like Esau and lose your blessing. Lose your blessing. You gotta keep the faith. The kingdom is on the way. Gotta stay rooted and never stop. Gotta stay in the race. Keep building the kingdom, we do it with pressure. Get to the kingdom, you know we be flexing. Hating out, we know he the oppressor. Gotta stay patient, cause Jacob got next. Esau the ending, and Jacob's the new beginning. The earth's been given in the hands of the wicked. So we about to tear down. 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 So we about to tear down. We about to tear down. We about to tear down.
PBT Radio Live.
I told you, we got next. This kingdom is tumbling down. We building up all, it's just in the fall. Power shot piles, we bringing it down. They screaming, send down, we did it too long. Headed to Zion, we bringing it home. Kingdom, we focus, we stay in the zone. Let's better yourself than you see, cause this is a movie to see. But this is no Hollywood, cause we're not doing no acting. We got next better start to the packing. They deceiving, they know it's gon' happen. Cause I was against it, they fighting against it. Don't want us to win, we claiming the victory. I get in this book, start reading, now he's no friend. They looking like what ain't got in them. I'm looking at them like the king that got in them. I'm bringing the vision, they smashing my enemies. I'm getting the gunning us down. But law ain't no cursing us now. Talking slave and enslaving us now. We just saw the earth say it loud.
Esau the ending, and Jacob's the new beginning. The earth's been given in the hands of the wicked. So we about to tear down. 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 So we about to tear down. 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 We about to tear down.
That neutral.
Maestro.
Esau the ending, and Jacob's the new beginning. The earth's been given in the hands of the wicked. So we about to tear down. 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 So we about to tear down. 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 Hey, shoot at the eye, catching the mind. Jacob got neck in the kingdom is not. Got in the sheep and we building the kingdom. We looking Satan and turn his down. Earth is playground. And we gon' tear it down. We got next, show us respect. The enemy working, he trying his best. His time is short and he needs some help. Can't be deceived, gotta stay on his neck or he'll use your vessel. Don't be like Esau and lose your.
Lack of accepting what is right and what is true, but we're gonna speak about it. So stemming from just fornication running rapid, man, in our community, but it's highly perpetuated. So we're gonna keep building. So how is this continuously where's the influence of this, right? Which is what we're going to touch on this second half, and then we're going to continue to build. It's not limited to, but we're going to go ahead and wrap up the angle we was going with and still bringing it home. Brothers and sisters, if y'all can stick around, if y'all would like any points y'all want to bring in, y'all can bring. But we're going to just pin y'all to the side. If y'all got anything Do they have the option? Do y'all see if you see the option to raise your hand, just let us know. We'll bring you in. No doubt. All right. So appreciate the great points that y'all brought out. Definitely appreciate it. All right. Grow your own food, fam. Grow your own food.
Grow your own food.
All right. So we're gonna keep building.
Grow your own.
Let's go back to Wikipedia, right? I purposefully skipped over one aspect.
Going back up to the top, the second paragraph.
Going back to go all the way up to the tip.
Right, boy, yeah. Let me get this thing over here. Boom. Y'all can hear us clear, right?
I think we're coming through clear.
Okay, just making sure, because I know we got some new technical things going on here that's new to our TBT setup. So I want to make sure that everything is coming through clear. We upgraded a few things, y'all. See, we got some good things going now.
We're gonna strive to continue to upgrade it to make this the best experience you can experience with you all affording your time to be here with us. So scroll down.
My bad.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just let you.
Let's get it.
And I just switched it. When you ready, switch it.
All right. So this paragraph comes shortly after it was a paragraph that spoke about the emancipation, the abolishment of slavery. Let's see one of the first things we got involved in or got recognized for coming out of slavery. Right? Harlem Renaissance. It says the first public recognition of African American culture occurred during the Harlem Renaissance, pioneered by Elaine Locke. I pray I'm saying her name right? In the 1920s and 1930s, African American music.
Wow.
All right, we're getting somewhere, right?
Yeah.
African American music, literature, and art gained wide notice.
And I was just thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about this exact thing the other day. Like, how did our music become the focal point of the world? And when did it become the focal point of the world?
And here we have it.
Look. When you wait on the Most High, He always give you an answer.
Authors such as Zora Neale Hurston and Nella Larson, and poets such as Langston Hughes, Claude McKay, County Cullen wrote works describing the African American experience. Jazz, swing, blues, and other musical forms enter American popular music. African American artists such as William H. Johnson, Aaron Douglas, and Palmer Hayden created unique works of art featuring African Americans. The Harlem Renaissance was also a time of increased political involvement for African Americans. Among the notable African American political movements founded in the early 20th century are the Universal Negro Improvement Association and the National Association of the Advancement of Colored People, the Nation of Islam. A notable Islamic religious movement also began in the early 1930s. But I want to highlight something here, man. One of the first things that we was highly noticed for was music. And my question was, a few minutes ago, how is certain aspects of unwanted culture continuously being perpetuated to not only we can't just blame the adults, but even the youth, mainly the youth. It's through music. See, we got to just call it what it is. Music plays a big part in our life. We spoke on this countless of times in our broadcast. We cannot underestimate music. This is how he's constantly getting to each generation. Whether it was the crack era, the heavy use of marijuana, the lean, the alcoholism, now the opioid. I mean, all of it's perpetuated in what? And I'm going to talk about a couple of things, or a couple of songs, a couple of artists that's well known and that's getting high recognition right now. But just speaking on some of these things, one of the guys that I didn't put in, they call him Yak. Kodak Black.
Yeah.
I listened to one of his songs, but I didn't put his lyrics on here. I'm gonna go into a few two artist lyrics. We're gonna play a snippet of a well-known artist. Then we're gonna open up the floor, right? And then we're gonna start speaking about the solution, right? Okay, but I was listening to him. He's trending in the billboards or in the streaming metaverse or scene very highly right now. And his song that he got going, and one of the things he was talking about, he says, "I may overdose on pills." He says it about 2 or 3 times in his lyrics. And then they're complaining and wondering why people are overdosing and doing this and doing that. It's perpetuated in the what? The music.
Mm-hmm. I never forget when Bizzle said in one of his songs, he said, "You ain't never smoked the blunt, popped the gun, but you filling your iPod up with it." And it's like, why? Cause my oldest brother, he was like, "Nah, I don't do none of that stuff," and I'm not throwing my older brother under the table or anything like that. I have very much respect for my older brother, even though he's not in the truth. And we had talks on a whole nother level. But it was like, hey, he was listening to some songs. I was like, bro, why you listening to that? You don't even do that. He was like, it's like, I like this about it, I like that about it. It's like, okay, but that's still not our lifestyle. We need something that's gonna motivate us to do something better. Why still play something to perpetuate what we trying to stop our children to do? But we still playing the song. Now, when our children start singing those same songs from us listening to it, and we just like, it's what when we did the volume of music, people, that was one thing that people constantly said. It's just music. It's more than music. It's more than music. Even when it comes to the truth music that we do, I ain't gonna put the cart before the horse. But even when it comes to the truth music that we do, it's more than just music. Don't think you just gonna just drop a track and throw it out here and it ain't nothing behind it. People are compelled to gravitate towards one way or the other, and you're responsible for it.
Right. So speaking of truth music and music in general, so like I said, I don't want to take up all the time. I want to give our brothers and sisters a chance to speak. Right. So truth music and music, the influence of music when it comes to the culture. Here we have a well-known artist, Kendrick Lamar. I'm gonna pull up his lyrics here, y'all. Kendrick Lamar. Well, no, a while ago, I think even Elder had spoke on it a little bit, and that's why we did the whole show about, do we recognize or readily accept anybody, whether they're celebrity, whether they have celebrity status or whatever it may be, just because they allude to the awakening? Should we? So this is I'm gonna speak on this brother here. Like I said, I was big on Kendrick coming in. I was big on Kendrick coming into the truth, man. May the Most High rest his soul. My brother Ezariah, he was like, man, check this guy out, because he was one of the guys that I was studying with coming to the walk. Ezariah, man, Most High rest his soul. So, but he was like, man, check out this guy, and lo and behold, it was Kendrick Lamar before Kendrick Lamar was anything of what he is now. He was putting in that work underground, right? But he has catapulted to a high status right now, right, on the music scene. So we know, I think his last project he did, called Down, he said some shocking things, or some things that caught the attention of the Hebrew community. One of the things he said, "Don't call me black no more. I'm an Israelite." And everybody was like, "Oh, he Israel, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us like, "Oh, praises, man. He awakening, speaking that truth, he dropping them jewels, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Now, my brother put me up on this. He was like, "Man, did you hear what Kendrick said?" Because I listen. I definitely try to keep my ears to the streets, or to the to the music, because we in this thing and striving to comprehend it. So scroll down. Let me go down.
No, you got the mouse.
Okay. So he said something very, very alarming. And this is the thing about it. Why am I bringing up the point of what he stated in his last project? And, he was off the scene for a while. So this new song I'm about to point out, this is something that this is one of his latest songs he did with his cousin. His cousin called, what's his name here? Baby Kim. So they got a single out. And mind you, this single just got Grammy nominated too, right? Off a single. One of his latest ones. So in the Hebrew community, you got a lot of youth probably that was listening to Kendrick. I know a guy that was leaning towards the truth, but he was a heavy Kendrick Lamar fan, so I'm pretty sure he's, when he heard them say something about Israelite, because I know I had been speaking to the brother, I'm like, yeah, we the people. But he wasn't leaning all the way in. Well, he probably heard from Kendrick, like, oh, okay, it may be true. I'm rocking with it. But then he goes off the scene and he comes back, and let's listen to one of his punchlines in his newest single. I'm not gonna play it because there's a whole lot going on, and the video is definitely off the left or the deep end.
Yeah.
But notice
he played the one with him and Kodak Black too, didn't he?
Huh?
You seen the one with him and Kodak Black?
Nah, I ain't see that.
Oh boy.
I ain't got that far yet. But keep in mind, when I get ready to state this lyric, he stated a couple years back.
No, it was Wayne, my bad. Go ahead.
A little while ago back, that he's don't call him black no more, he's Israelite. Now let's state what he's saying. What he said right here. Well, you see his highlight, it says, now I'm gonna read it all the way down. It says, I've been ducking the pandemic, I've been ducking the social gimmicks, I've been ducking the overnight activists. Yeah, I'm not a trending topic. I'm a prophet. I answer to Metatron and Gabriel. Yes, you heard me correct, family. He says he answers to Metatron and Gabriel. So let's look at this. If ones were inspired to seek out the true nationality and who they are and things like that, like I said, we're not trying to demonize them, but this is his words. So if anybody know him, anybody know more about what he's going with this, now we know who Metatron is, and we know according to Christ and according to how we fell off as a people in the times of we better not be answering to Gabriel neither, right? As far as praying to or worshiping anything like that.
And see,
but him stating this could have someone that was interested in the truth now thinking they supposed to answer to who?
Metatron and
Gabriel.
So don't go chanting these around your house and different things like that. But this is my thing with it, with our culture, when we gravitate towards artists and different things like that. What's the script, man? It was just on the tip of my tongue. Don't be hasty to give credit. And that's the thing. Like when we do music, a lot of people may have the it factor vibe with their music,
which he has, right?
And people will be hasty to give credit, whether they in the truth or outside of the truth, and they will be this mogul up here, and boom, everybody watching them, boom. Now, this mogul then took people down the drain, because what was that? Let me just stick on the topic that I was getting on. Don't be hasty to give credit, and it's we not downing when celebrities come to the truth, but give them a while to prove themselves. Do not parade them right off, because you gon', like we was talking about this last week, when Facebook show you 2 years later or a year later a post that you made, that ain't even that no more. You'd made a promotion parading something that ain't even it no more. That ain't even it. Everybody, all praises Kendrick. Nothing against the brother, and if you ever see this video, we pray that he, that he get towards the Most High. But it's like, we gotta stop being hasty to give credit.
Yeah, and you never saw Christ give no. He was more than the prophet. You didn't hear Isaiah, Jeremiah, none of them brethren say that they answer to Metatron or Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you gotta be careful. And why we saying this because music creates a culture. So we talk about this a whole lot. Like even within the Hebrew culture. Is this the should we counsel this? Somebody need to reach out to him and have a talk to him about this, and then we about to bring in the brother, let him know that brother, this ain't part of the Hebrew culture right here. We don't answer to Metatron and Gabriel. No, that's not the culture.
Right.
That got us in trouble a while ago. Answer to any other God or any other angel outside of the God of all God. That's who we answer to. The great I am. Ahaya Shahaya. So we're gonna bring in our brother, Mr. Hebrew Harris. Said he got something he want to speak on that.
Until you what? Look, there you go. Marcus. Is that Marcus?
Fuqua?
Fuqua.
I pray we're saying it right.
Con. And he hit it right on the point. He brought it out. Don't be hasty to give credit until the chat
seize the matter.
Until you seize the matter. We ain't see the matter all the way through. We don't like a lot of these people that come through. It be an all praises moment, but keep it all praises between you and the Most High right now. Like, okay, we seeing you, but what you gonna do with it? Like, your boy, what's his name? The one was on lottery ticket.
I keep forgetting his name, man.
Dang. But everybody know who we talking about. The boy off lottery ticket. Yeah, like him. He came in and Brandon T. Jackson. There we go. Appreciate it, Hebrew Harris.
That wasn't me. It was somebody else.
Yeah, that was Sandra the Second.
Oh, my bad, Dick. But yeah, he came in and he had been doing his thing. He been showing love to the culture as far as I can see. As far as I can see, he been sticking to it.
Yeah, but to all of us, we all got to prove ourselves.
Right.
He that endures to the end, the same shall be
saved.
So we'll leave it at that. So Hebrew Harris, what you got, man? You got something you want to say on that topic there, man?
Can you all hear me fine? Because I think it said my internet was kind of low.
We can hear you pretty good right now.
Okay. What I wanted to mention was also the scripture as far as they said, the First Thessalonians also. The First Thessalonians, the 5th chapter.
You got your head covered.
Oh. Okay. So when it comes to First Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, the 21st verse, prove and hold fast to that which is good.
You cutting all the way out. Yep, you cut all the way out.
Now it's messing up.
Yeah,
you cut all the way out. Try to call in number. Try to call in number. If you can't get in, if the internet is messed up, just try to do it through your regular cell number.
Yeah, and then we'll bring you back in so you bring that point. All right. So, but as we can see, man, we had to be careful. And like I said, we're seeing, as we stated in previous shows, a lot of the cultures are shaped through the music, through the arts, through the entertainment, right? So that's what we're pointing out, this point about Kendrick Lamar. But it doesn't stop there. But I wanted to make sure I highlight that point because a lot of people may haven't known that he came out and stated that. And you had to be listening because he rapped so fast and he slid it in there, he punched you in there with a different guard, but because you like, okay, you sealed in with him, you rocking with him because he said don't call him black no more, I'm an Israelite. And to an extent, the whole awakening is becoming a culture versus a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to be careful with that even. So that's why I plugged that in. Be mindful. And if anybody that ever comes across this show know him, reach out to him and let him know. We have to cancel that culture. We don't. I'm gonna say that again. We don't answer to Metatron and Gabriel. So let's go to the next artist, right?
That's right.
Let's go to the next artist. Like I said we about to get ready to open the floor up so we can get ready to wrap it up. We got one more artist, man.
This one Got a
No,
little
let's
bit.
go to Future. We'll go to Future first.
Okay.
You got him.
You got that? Go to the second to the last one. No,
This one?
the one, no, more. Yep, right there.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
right here.
Thought I had him pulled up.
So, I think.
We still got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring him in after this. So, we got an artist here. I'm gonna bring up his lyrics too. I'm just gonna read it from my phone, right? So y'all don't have to worry about trying to squint your eyes on it.
You want to get Jeremy real quick before you?
No. I'm gonna go ahead and go with it. We'll bring him in after this, and then Barzell.
Yep.
So, the next artist we're gonna speak about, his name is Future. Future, right?
He's the past.
But not according to the culture. He's not the past. He's still the future, right? Right now he has a song that's trending number 3 in the streaming world. I don't know if that's by way of the corporations or according to the culture. And when we say culture, what the community is behind and pushing and readily accept as our way of of life, right? Or what we deem as holding to a high regards. I'm just gonna quote one of his lyrics, and then I'm gonna speak on how high the community has catapulted this brother in our culture. So let's look at one of his lyrics, man. Ooh, y'all go brace yourself. It look like they don't want me to say it here. Let's see. All right, yeah. So I ain't gonna even go into it too deep. So he got a new song with one of the guys that we know that from his fruits. Like I said, not assumption, from his fruits from the Astro concert. Travis Scott. He got a single with him that's out now that's trending number 3, right? And the video is crazy on there as well. You gotta be careful. Anytime you go into these scenes, please pray. And if I advise stay away. You know.
Right.
But on the song, this is one of his lyrics. He got the 3rd verse on it. He said, "Yeah, I come out the streets with a demon." You heard me. He said, "I stay high and creep low on the demon." What's this all about? And now, some of the parents is probably like, why is y'all might not know this, especially because I know a lot of our brothers and sisters that listen in with us. You know, well, I may be wrong, but I assume that you may be, not more so the younger generation. So we need to get this word to the younger generation as well. But it's a saying out now amongst the youth that they on demon time.
Woo! And that's why I was like, we gotta do a whole broadcast on that one, because that's something that's being pushed in our culture through the youth. The youth is bringing this up, and they tell you that in Isaiah 3:14 as well, that the youth shall rule over us.
And definitely for those that have children that's still in the educational system, those of us that did go through it, the peer pressures and how things can rub off on you. Yeah, you heard it right, Sister Maria. It used to be turned up, lit, all that. Mm-hmm. Now they on demon time.
That's what it is. They already showed it in a few of these documentaries, how they go up in the studio and they do what they do, and they go around these different people and they do what they do behind closed doors in these secret places to keep their status as well. We ain't gonna really touch on that because it's 1,000 different things out here touching on that already. That's nothing that's new.
Yeah, Yasharala, we're gonna look into that. She said they even calling on Detective Gramington. Email us if you got a video, article, anything. Email us that. We'll touch on that topic. Like I said, family, we here to get the word out. So now we create the content with you all involved. That's why we ask you to call in. Then you share the videos to the youth. Sit your children down so they can see what, the connection and how this plays a part.
Mhm.
So, but we're wondering why. I'm like, I heard that. I'm like, they on what time? I know I ain't hear that right.
Demon time.
But then we hear this, bro. I'm gonna repeat what he said. He kicks his kicked the verse off with it. Yeah, I come out the streets with a demon. Stay high and creep low on the demon. And you wonder how it's getting in your household and how it's being perpetuated as a culture. Now, this is going to be a fad. Fads are incorporated within the culture. Now, let's read this article, and we're going to get ready to, get off our spiel and open it up for the callers. All right, so let's get to this article. So, with Future, right?
Mr. Hendrix.
With him, this is him. Let's read what it says. Now let's check out. I think we were just speaking about this about don't live above your means. This outfit, they didn't put a price tag on this outfit right here under the picture. It says sweater cost $600, pants cost $695, shoes cost $1,375.
Boy, I needed that on rent.
Bandana cost $450. Shades and glasses cost $1,195. Necklace cost $225,000. Okay, yeah, that part. The ring on the left ring finger, $18,400. And also, I guess there's another ring that's $4,270. On the right hand ring is $18,570. And what is this? The left pinky is $12,450. Y'all do the math.
Boy. I saw a video where Rick Ross was talking about how much it costs just to maintain his mansion.
It's the culture, y'all.
And if you need that much money, like almost $1.2 million just to maintain your home with the necessities that go into it, lights, gas, and all of that stuff. What is making these folk think that they gonna go out here and go spend all this money on this stuff?
The culture.
Oh, I forgot.
The culture,
I forgot. Cardi's baby.
Man, and Bakar, that's Bakar in the Bill Shalom. He said true culture has moral values, not physical values, right?
Right.
Now we just got a connection. Our culture is more gravitated towards physical value versus moral value.
That's something serious.
We got to cancel that.
That's right.
We got to fix this. Cause we so caught up in looking good physically, but ain't got physical pennies to scrub together. So they probably got him dressed up in this costume, and we know what goes on to an extent. With these artists, they in debt up to their eyebrows, but they're portraying this type of image as a culture, physically. And then, the last time we had, I think they even scrubbed that video. They tried to make us take that video down when he was speaking about a lot of things he talked about in his music. He don't even do. So he's promoting demoralization to the youth, but he tries, I guess, behind closed doors to live morally. That makes no sense. But look,
we gonna definitely get that video back up soon, because that video was a hard hitting video. They flagged us hard for that video, but we gonna get that back up on the Patreon here soon.
But check this out, y'all. Culturally, Future is the best rapper alive.
Stop the cap.
Did y'all hear that?
Stop the cap.
This is what they stating, y'all. Now I'm gonna read a little bit of how they came to that conclusion.
I want to hear this, cause this new news to me.
It states on GQ that Future is the best rapper alive. For those that have been listening, for my hip hop heads, those that have been listening to music growing up, what do you have to say about this?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Best rapper alive.
This was published April 19, 2022. I seen that article. I'm like, who? How they come up with that?
Right. And how did they put him? How did they put him over Nas? How did they put him over Jay-Z? How did they put him over even like I know Wayne ain't really got it like that no more, but how did they put him over him? His catalog ain't even big enough like that.
And I'm kind of glad. Well, no, I ain't gonna say that. But a lot of people was hanging their hats on. They gonna say it right here. Let me just read. It says best rapper alive. It's a lofty goal, a phrase Jay-Z famously uttered in 2003 on "Dirt Off Your Shoulders" that declared Sean Carter the new standard while still paying respect to late great Tupac Shakur and Christopher Notorious B.I.G. Wallace. A few years later, the other Mr. Carter, Lil Wayne, laid claim to the throne by working any and all competition with a canon of indisputable music. But in 2022, who wears the crown? At least now that Jay-Z has graduated to full-on GOAT. Is it our perennial hitmaker Drake, the brilliant J. Cole, or maybe it's enigmatic Kendrick Lamar? Who would probably garner the most votes? But in hip hop, it's always on culture. Right? Can you really be the best rapper alive? You haven't given us an album in 5 years. So that, like I said, Kendrick stepped off for a while, and now he coming back answering the Metatron. But see, yeah, that part. But that what they're stating here is, I'm gonna read a little bit more about it. They're saying how he has been grandfathered into being the best rapper alive is based off culture. So whatever he's promoting in his music is grandized through him setting a tone for the culture. So he's the best cultural rapper alive.
Stop the cap.
Man.
Nah, man.
While he coming out the street with demons. Right.
So his culture is breeding,
smoking, intoxicated, fornicating, wearing an outfit that you can't afford and living in your grandma's house.
But most of all, and it's the root of the even more the root of the culture that he's bringing is that demon time. That's the root. That's the root of what he's bringing. Demon time is flashy jewelry. Not saying that we can't wear jewelry. Now let's not get things confused. What all that getting is get an understanding that we can't do none of these things. But if it becomes something that you feel like you got to have, that's your necessity, that's not.
So Sis Wiggins says, what does cap mean? Bring it out. Let's go to the Urban Dictionary on it.
All right, the Urban Dictionary. So what cap is, meaning that something is authentic, not true, or fake.
Pretty much they lying or they bearing false witness.
Bearing false witness. That's what capping is. You're
so
bearing
stop
false
capping.
Right. We're gonna play our brother Tazawa and he gonna break it down a little bit more.
You're gonna play that at the end.
We're gonna play Tazawa at the end. I'm gonna make sure I find that before we ride out.
So you got people co-signing them. Then we gonna I think I'm gonna segue out. We got one more clip, but we're gonna hear from the brothers that's been waiting patiently in the queue, right? So it says,
oh, my bad.
Let me get it. It says, and doesn't the South got something to say? Last year when Spotify Rap Caviar asked Twitter which rapper would be on Mount Rushmore of the 2010s, fans decreed it would be Drake, Cole, Kendrick, and who? LeBron James quickly led the charge for Future as the fourth. So here we got LeBron James, which a lot of our people culturally hold as this iconic figure in our community. So when he says certain things, people gonna be like, okay, maybe Bronze is onto something.
Well, LeBron James, the basketball player?
Yeah.
Now, I don't watch basketball, y'all, but for some reason, I've been into basketball here lately. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I've been seeing highlights of Bronze play. He whacked me. Y'all can argue about that somewhere else, but
you just disrupted the culture a little bit there. Right.
He whacked me. I didn't seen other people get down better than him, so I don't understand what makes him the GOAT of basketball.
Right.
Mike MJ said he's no comp. He's no comp.
Right. So it was something I think he said. I ain't gonna go too deep into it, but that's who co-signing for Future, right? And now we have it as him being the best rapper alive. And I know I seen a lot of people like, nah, he's capping. He's
he capping.
Right?
Well, shall we hit it one more time?
Stop the cap.
For real. And then we got somebody said something about Pac and all that, man. Like, he's not even close.
Yeah.
Man. And then I ain't even go into the price tag on that other outfit, which looks ridiculous. But man, this is what we have going on. This is what the youth is gravitating towards. As parents, as the those that are not parents, as the older generation, not just like I said, those of an age, but even those that are kind of peers to the youth, we have to bring some levity to this.
Right.
So we're gonna bring our callers in, see what they have to say on some of the things we've spoken on up to this point, and we're gonna get ready to wrap it up here in a minute. But let's hear from the callers. What do y'all have to say?
Right. So Hebrew Harris, we're gonna bring you back in, man.
To bring that point out.
All right. Got Hebrew Harris in the building. He calling in. Video wasn't acting right, so hey.
What you gotta say, y'all?
Hebrew Harris, what you got?
You can't hear you if you're speaking. He on mute.
Okay, I had to do the start this. Okay, can you all hear me now?
Con.
Okay, I was actually trying to hit the point on the comment that Kendrick Lamar had made first. So at first I was going to go to the 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, the 21st verse. That was what I was trying to read out, but you all said my video was acting up and everything.
Okay. So what do you have to say about it? What's your point on what he stated?
Okay. So first of all, I wanted to read that verse right quick, and it said, "Prove all things and hold fast to that which is good," because a lot of the culture of the how can I say it? A lot of the cultural influences or whatnot. I don't even think that they actually know sometimes what they are actually, coming across. It's just some type of new information that they learn here or there, and they be like, "Oh man, no other rapper has brought this forth or anything like that. Let me sound deep for a little bit or something like that for one of these songs or whatnot." And I do think that sometimes they'll come across something like that may not really hit home in their own personal spiritual life, but they will still use to get some sort of advantage or whatnot. Because I'm pretty sure if his career was a little slow or stagnant, that type of interaction with the Hebrew community would be able to, cause some type of spark. A lot of people look at the Nick Cannon situations or whatnot when he was, making the quote unquote anti-Semitic, comments by Jewish people and stuff like that. But that stuff causes people to trend. When you say something, that everybody starts, if it's good or bad, it doesn't even matter. Like, it was a negative thing that Will Smith did. But look at how it caused, them to trend in popularity and everything like that. Other businesses can thrive off of that type of interaction, maybe produce shirts and stuff like that. Off of that comment that Kendrick Lamar introduced,
But this is what
I
I want to
just
say to
thought
what you
that,
just said, though. 1 second. This is what I'm going to say.
okay.
But when it comes to like Will, right? A lot of people trying to cancel him for that. Well, at least he's being counseled. You had division amongst us to where, some people was like, he did right. He was standing up for his wife, things like that. Then you had some like, bruh, wilding out. If that was, if that was one of another race, he wouldn't have went up there and slapped him, right? So
yeah,
because they understand the influence and the voice of the urban community, because it was tipped over more so towards those that was like, nah, Will wrong for that. They pretty much brought the gavel down on them, right? So we have influence. We have the power collectively to counsel certain things. That's what we're speaking about. We're not though. We're not using that power.
Mm-hmm. Also, with those situations, they use our people to, before that, everybody was talking about Russia and Ukraine before that slap happened. Our black community, we were focusing on rising gas prices and COVID and all of that stuff, but then it switched to Russia, Ukraine, and then boom, once that slap happened right there, it's like as long as our focus is shifted, they can allow us to be able to, set the trend on where they need to, have the talking points or something like that. And all they have to do is just catch our attention with something else. And now, okay, it's a new agenda. Let's, sway the black people or whatnot, the Negroes or the African Americans or whatever, in this new direction. Cause Will Smith to go on stage or whatnot and do those type of things. And you will see that nobody's talking about none of those old topics. Eventually, the Will Smith topic will fade away. And guess what? They'll be using probably some of our people to be able to cause the new thing. That's the culture. Like, we are the salt of the earth. A lot of people follow us. You just look around. Like, people follow Michael Jackson. They follow, like Tupac. They follow all of these people worldwide. Everybody knew these people. Like, worldwide, they had a worldwide influence. But the thing is, we can cause so much, influence, but we tend to use it in a negative way for the majority of the time. I just mainly looked at that comment when you all said that as, he probably knew what he was saying when he was saying who he answered to and stuff like that. But I thought, just like I was saying, it's always something new. It's like as time goes by, and who knows, he could have evolved or something like that, or he could have,
that's not evolving right there. That's dissolving.
No, I'm just talking
dissolving.
about
That's going downward. But this is what I'm saying. We have to stick. We got to call a spade a spade. We got to stick to it. We can't make. That's our thing. We always making an excuse for it, and that's why I said if it's not that we looking to condemn them. If anyone knows them or can reach out to them, somebody need to let them know. We as the Hebrew community, we gotta be like, nah, this will not be accepted.
I definitely understand.
Okay, but
I definitely understand.
That's what we got to get to the mindset of. Do we? That's why I stated. Do we just accept what's being promoted about us or to us? Or is it council culture for the things that will affect us down the line? If no one says anything about this is going to be intertwined with the awakening because he has a big influence on the culture.
Exactly. It's gonna be the same thing, just like how it was with Chingy. Like, we covered on that as well when we spoke about our these celebrities and the truth. And we not in no way, shape, or form are we making this show about celebrities. It ain't about them. It's bigger than them, way bigger than them. So it was the same thing when it was with Chingy. Chingy came in, he had the elders playing in the background of his music. He had the song called King Judah. We was one of the artists they in there, and so quick to credit, it didn't let him see his track record. been in it like, bro, it's been like what 9-10 years now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while now. So we can kind of seen the like how do you say it not a progression, but we done seen that we done seen the same pattern of this thing over and over and over. So that's what we saying. We tired of seeing it, so we gonna let the truth be told, and that's what we making a platform for. So the truth can be told and finally spoke about against some of these things, unfiltered. We ain't holding our tongue. We keeping all respect, but we just gotta let the facts be the facts. That is things that's damaging us, and we're calling it culture.
Exactly, and we accepting it. That's the thing. So I know you. I know you're saying like it could be this, it could be that, and so we're not attacking you.
Yeah. Not you at all. Not you.
But we saying
I definitely.
That's why the question is, what is the culture? Do we just accept anything as culture, even within the Hebrew community? But overall, this is affecting us overall. Right? So
I really think, as far as my opinion over that, I know like. I just think that our people, just tend to not test things out like that. That's why I just wanted to, make that the opening, statement, leading off with the scripture, because we just quick to run to anything. And it could be, our community is running to the devil right now. They do it on a day-to-day basis. And yes, I do know that guy is playing a role, whether he know it or not. He still is going to potentially, if people follow his music, follow his example, he will lead them, to eternity and suffering and hellfire and everything like that. So I do know the power, the influence, and that's why I was just like, man, our culture needs to start adopting, testing out this stuff, because everybody know when they listen to rap, those people talk about smoking or drinking or killing somebody every other day, and they not doing that stuff. But then when they say something deep like that, they just run to it and everything like that, or what they think is deep or new, or nobody's talking about that, so he must know he's talking about or something like that. Yeah, like I think that it should all be, the same, that we, when it comes to rap, we just, know that it's kind of like fictional for the most part. Well, yeah, like fake and everything like that. But yeah, that's basically my comment on that, though.
Okay.
As far as that,
appreciate it.
Yeah.
So one.
Oh
thing,
yeah.
If you could give one statement, if you could give one thing that needs to be counseled in our culture, what would it be?
One thing to be counseled.
That we know there's in the African American community that we hold up as a culture or a standard or something that we readily accept. What would it be if you could counsel something?
I wouldn't. Well, what I would like to see, change or better. I can only go by my situation, and more so on the personal side of things. When I say this, and I would like to see, the family, together. Like if I could counsel one thing, it would be the family being so quick to, break apart, especially nowadays, because nowadays it's like the chain is weaker, like the metal we used to have, or the grandparents had, or whatever, that built their family, those bonds that built their relationship. It seemed like it was way stronger, a different type of metal, a different type of, structure compared to what we have now. It's easily broken nowadays. People can leave, whether it's the woman or the man. It used to be the man. Now, a lot of times we actually see women like exercising a power that they've had the whole time, but it was optional. They didn't necessarily have to tap into it, but now women are realizing that, hold on, I can break this family if I want to, And a lot of them are tending to do that. You see the trend is changing to women are leading the divorce rate. Men used to then stick around. Now you find men sticking around for their family and women walking out the door, on them for somebody else, no matter the situation. I do think that the struggle, is real, no matter, where you are in the world. But that bond isn't just as strong as it was. So if I could say one thing, it would just basically be if I could see an example, because I'm looking at my parents and how they went, got divorced or whatnot. I'm thinking about my own situation when I knew I did all I could do and anything like that, and I still have yet to really see a really good situation where I was able to grow up witnessing over and over, a strong family structure like that. And you talking about me witnessing 3 different generations. So that's what I would really like to see, just a family stick together. No matter what the situation is, and seek counsel throughout it. Seek a way to be able to fix it or heal. Like at least try many different avenues. Before just giving up altogether.
And that's what, and we'll stick to that, man. And that's one of the things that we spoke on. And I think that opens up a lot of the flaws that we see within our culture. Without that family bond, there's no foundation for each generation that proceeds after.
And that's what makes it so important with us. That's what makes it so important with us in truth. And thank you, brother. All praise to the Most High. In truth, when it comes to us building bonds in truth and bridging that gap with each other, growing as family in truth. Because, man, I ain't even going to go into it.
All right, so let's bring our next call in, Barazel.
Yeah, that's gonna be a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah, man. But he said the family structure.
Mm-hmm.
We need to counsel tearing down the family structure.
It is now counseled by the council. So we got our brother Barazel in the building.
Yes, sir.
What do you have to say? Give us your spiel real quick before we get ready to close out. What's your spiel on this topic, man? What's the culture?
Man, so, first, giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High. That's first and foremost. All praises. And, speaking from someone who is from Generation Z, as they call it, the young generation, the youth, right? And observing what I see on my end as far as what we deem as culture, what we deem as the way of living, I come to understand it as this. What we're looking at when we see our people, when we see our young people, our older generation, is not a culture at all. What we're actually witnessing is a reaction. We are witnessing the reaction that our people have to what has happened to us. I believe it says somewhere in the book of Isaiah where it says that that we have become the head of every street, and we are filled with the anger and the rebuke of our God. So a lot of what we have embraced as culture, as a way of life, is a result of our oppression. It is a result of how downtrodden we are as a people. This is similar to what happened to us all the way in Judges when it said there arose another generation which knew not the Lord nor the works of Moses. When we have a people who is so disconnected from who they actually are, and there's an image that was presented, that was created by the oppressors of who we are as a people, because we are so disconnected from ourselves, we embrace what our enemies said we are. So now we don't know who we are, but our enemies determine who we are.
So is it safe to say, so what it sounds like you're saying, just like it showed us in Wikipedia, it says that a lot of the cultural things that are accepted is stemmed from slavery.
And if y'all just got here, when the broadcast over, make sure y'all go back to the beginning to get the full discussion, because there's what he just said play a key factor in what was read there. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Doc.
Exactly. So I mean, just with examples, right? We call ourselves gangsters. We call ourselves thugs, divas.
Okay, let's
Not
get to that, right?
understanding that the original gangsters was not even our people. They were the Italians at one point. That was the name that they associated themselves with, that later on in our music and in our culture, we embraced as something to be glorified. The word thug coming from African demons that would be called thugs and divas, from goddesses that would be called those things. That was spirits of warfare and destruction.
If I can speak to that, you just said something key. Because like he stated, it's not our culture is formed through our reaction to our situation.
Exactly.
So, like he's stating, like, okay, originally the drug dealers and things like that were the Italians, the thugs, right? But another thing about the whole gang culture that is readily accepted amongst us, right? It was put in place as a reaction to how we was being mistreated and how our communities was downtrodden. GDs, right?
Yeah, by the adversaries.
Yeah, GDs, right? What growth and development was originally for the help the community in reaction to the community needing help. And now as a culture, it has been transformed into this violent group of people that it was not intended to be.
Cause I don't look, and I believe if we actually looked into it some more, them throwing up all the little gang signs and different things like that, it just hit me now, like that probably had nothing to do with it at all.
Right. But we know scripturally, we know what it ties to, and I'm gonna let you get back to it.
All
But
right.
like I said,
yeah.
and that ties back into the culture of the music that we have swung into.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, Doc.
And this is and just to get my point across, this is what we have to examine, is that we have to reevaluate what it means to be black, because the image that we have been presented on how to be us did not come from us. It came as a reaction of what was around us. Let's say that again. The perception of how to be us did not originate with us. It originated with them. We took their ways, adopted the ways of the heathen, as the scripture says, learning the ways of the heathen, and then we made it ours. So now we don't even know who we are anymore, because we have been everybody else except us for years.
When are we but it's like, when are we gonna get to the mindset to stop being somebody else? Because that's the thing in our community. They make a boast of being, I'm real, I'm authentic. There's no real or authentic nothing about our community and culture when it's being grafted from somebody else. That's fake. You're being something that you're not.
And never was.
Never was.
Because look at our history, right? When we look in the Bible, and this is the key reason why the Most High allowed us to know that we were Israel, allowed us to know that we were connected to these people in the Bible. It wasn't to boast us up necessarily, but it was for us to realize that who we are is not who we are. You're actually the people in this book.
All right, let's get it.
Bruh bringing out some solid stuff.
All right, let's get it. We're going to Isaiah 1, right? Oh, we got Brother Bronze in the building. Then we got Deacon. He said he's going to have something to say. So, Bronze, we're going to bring you in a minute. After I bring his point, we're going to get ready to bring y'all in.
The people in this book. All right, let's get it.
So we're going to Isaiah, right? 1.
All right, give me a second. Let me get there. Get my handy dandy.
Let's bring Bar Razel off mute there too.
Oh, did I mute
Yeah,
him?
he's on mute.
I just wanted to make sure that was on my end.
Okay.
Where's my handy dandy one?
I mean, you don't have to pull it up. I'm thinking.
All right, go ahead.
Everybody probably got their sword with them. At least you should have. That should be a culture. Everybody should have their swords at all times. Let's make that a culture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's approve that. The council have now just approved everybody to keep the Bibles.
So watch this. We're going to Isaiah 1. It says, this is 1 and 2. It says, "Hear, O heavens, and give ears, O earth. For the Lord hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me." Who are those children? The children of Israel. Right? The ox knoweth his owner. And I'm going to say it for the sake we may have some children on. And the donkey, his master's crib. But Israel do not know. My people do not consider. Watch this though. This is what, like I said, we have accepted something that's not even who we are. And that came through our disobedience to our God, that he opened us up. Because it's a reason why we call it the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Sheep need what? A shepherd. Our shepherd that was intended to lead us is the God who created us. I don't think y'all understand what we just said there. Like, Moses was just a fill-in. All of the leaders after Moses was just fill-in. Even Christ himself had to come fill in, right? Because the Father was like, y'all ain't getting it. Because he stated it during the times of Samuel, right? Why won't y'all just submit to me? You want a king. So that's why Christ had to come and represent and be that representative of that king that we now have. But when it's all said and done, we're going to be back under the shepherd, which is our God himself. So we don't even know. We don't even consider that. Well, watch this. It says, "A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupt. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backwards." Watch this. "Why should ye be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more." Are we not doing that? The whole head is sick, man. Like some of the things we looking at, we like this. How is this even happening? Why is it? It's sick. Some of the things that's going on in our community, and the whole heart is faint. Imagine some of the parents of some of these children that's having to witness the stupidity going on in the culture.
It was a lady in another interview that I saw a while back. Her son had got shot in gang-related activity. She didn't even have no tears. When she did the interview with the folk, the day is there, she was like, she said, "It ain't even come as a surprise to me. Not saying that my son was a bad person or anything, but it was, that's where we live at."
Right. So based off of the community, right? A reaction, right, becomes a culture in a family that's trying to raise up their children to serve who? Christ, the Most High. But because they have to react, all right, y'all. I'm gonna say this. Then I'm gonna let you get your last point, Akbar Razel. Then we're gonna bring the other brethren in. But this how far we done got off. I'm gonna jump down to verse 9. It says, "Except the Most High, the Lord of hosts, had left unto us a very small remnant, ye would have been as Sodom." Woo. Are we not as Sodom right now? You gonna play with your friend, boyfriend. We shouldn't even be there.
But that's our culture.
And it says we should have been like unto Sodom and Gomorrah.
And that was the culture in Sodom and Gomorrah.
The culture. Man, go ahead, man. I'm done.
Man, it's deep. There's There's a song that I did, I think it was called Sober Up. There's a line that comes to my mind where it says, this culture has to die and everything in it has to fry. And that's really where the bottom line is. This thing we call culture does not belong to us. It didn't come from us, and it has to be purged out of us. We have to completely flee from this Babylonian culture. That's what it really means to flee Babylon. That's what it means to leave out of Egypt, to Exodus. We have to get this image out of our head of what we think we are, because it's not who we are. It never was who we are. It's who the enemy told us we are. And I yield with that.
Man. So, hey, there you have it, family. From your Akbar Zia, man. We appreciate you coming through with that powerful input, man. Opening up some different ways of looking at it. But man, what's the culture? Is this the culture? No. And to know that we have the wherewithal to alter this culture that is perpetuated in this time, we have it. Because when you look at it, the culture that is in place amongst our people is the image of the beast. So let's bring in Deacon and Bron. We'll just mute Bron as he come in, but we'll let Deacon speak his piece, and then Bron, we're gonna let you get ready to take us out here.
Yeah, man.
Bro, Boogie with the hoodie today.
So yeah, what he said was very profound. You know, what I would like to highlight about what Brother Barzell said is the culture that is promoted is not our culture. The culture that is promoted, if, for example, and that's what culture comes down to: images and behavior, language, images, behavior, and language. And there's like two other ones there: images, which are symbols, language, behavior, and beliefs. So if you take all of that, all of these, and promote what you wish people to see and believe about this group of people, you imprinted the image of a culture on people's minds. So in our case, the good that existed, the people who held moral values, the people who read books, the people who loved God, the people who had every intention to do good, wasn't promoted. So now you got, the only problem with that is, of course, is that it's so hard to find good people. Why? Because they're not promoted. So the issue is simply is, if we want to fix the problem, first of all, don't promote, don't acknowledge, don't give any energy to the wrong culture. Don't let that be an impression. Like, that's why we saying we ain't black. Understanding like, yo, that's a whole nother group of people. Black people can stay over there.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But when I'm trying to relate and pass an understanding, yeah, you know, there's me as a quote unquote black man, but my belief system and my culture is not black. It's nowhere near that. So And then when you promote my culture versus a black culture, like for example, because I asked this earlier in the podcast. What's the images that you think of when you think of Hebrew, quote unquote Hebrew Israelite, or Hebrew, or an Israelite?
You go here.
Yeah.
You go here versus here.
Yeah, we hear this. But what is the images that come to your mind versus the images that come to your mind about black people?
Meachies and fringes. Meachies and fringes. That'd be the first thing that come to my mind. Meachies and fringes.
What about behavior?
Out there on the streets, man, I just did studies on it, man. Well, we was going into it. The tone that the Hebrew community is setting on the streets, it's not looking good, family. It's not looking good. Man, bruh. I don't know the video. We was actually going into it with a study we was doing. A guy, Edomite or Caucasian guy came up to some Hebrews out there. Well, I don't even know if I should call it, but yeah, Hebrews out there preaching. And one of, I guess, their runners or security, I don't know what he was on, but he came out to him. He's like, he was being very disrespectful. And he was comparing the fact of how we are better than them based off us being able to jump higher than them and run faster than them. That's what makes us better than them.
Who said that?
It's an Israelite group. I didn't get their name, but this was his stance on why we're better than them. I'm like, brother, it's more to us than that.
And see, we were talking about that the other day as well. I ain't gonna speak. No, I'm gonna speak on it. Because they dealing with the physical attributes. They ain't dealing with versus the spiritual. And that's why they think we better than them. No, we better than them because we keep the Most High's ways.
Right.
That's what make us better. But we ain't out here trying to boast that. We need to practice some humility first of all. Dang all of that. You're talking about we better.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
okay,
many other ones.
But look at it. Look at it from his aspect. Is that his thought process? The images that's on his mind is us running and jumping. And that's when he think of culture and when he think of a group of people, his comparison is physical. But that's our job. What's our job? We supposed to promote righteousness. So if that's what we about, then that's all we promote. We don't put no energy into anything else. Now, because righteousness ain't promoted, let's put it like this: like, we gotta have music. We gotta have anything that you think of in American society. Hebrews, righteousness has to have. You understand what I'm saying? That type of these type of the type. Let me put it like this: righteousness have movies. Righteousness have amusement. Righteousness have books. Righteousness has teachers. Righteousness has babies. Righteousness can be inside of any aspect, but the only problem is we don't promote it. We don't promote it.
And that's the biggest issue. And that's a whole nother big conversation, is that we don't promote it. And that's something and that's why I said, I went out on that limb and I have to go out and admit it. And I failed on the last, I pretty much failed. I think it was yesterday I failed, y'all. I think it was yesterday I failed because I was keeping conscious of the content that I was sharing, but it was something righteous and it was humorous, but I wanted to even abstain away from posting things that was humorous. And it was about fasting. We've all fasted before, and when we coming off a fast, we may accidentally eat something, or we may not be consciously thinking, and it was a meme, and I was like, snap, and I unconsciously shared it, and I was like, dang. But still, that's something it's still righteous at the same time. It's still righteous at the same time, but
that's righteous.
But what I'm getting at is we need more stuff like that being pushed.
Yeah. But see, this is from the business aspect, Sandra C, like representative right now. You understand what I'm saying?
Sponsor.
When you conduct business in the community the proper way, then we can promote righteousness a whole lot easier. But again, I got to put the negative in there so I can keep it positive. Put more positivity on there. The problem with it is we don't want to promote the wrong people. You know, it's hard to relate right now because the person that you want to believe in is so far away. You understand what I'm saying? They're not around the corner. You can't work with them on the same street. You got to work with them through the internet. So in any case, business can get us proper promotion on how culture should be. And if we take the businesses and say, dang, this is a business that can move the culture. Let's finance that. Because we want the culture to move. Not just because it sound good, not just because it look good, but no. This thing is carrying a wave.
So I would agree on that because you got to think about what came to mind is when we was talking about the fans and fanatics, how Nike picked up Jordan and created a whole culture with that concept of the Jordans. So I can see that. So we have to take initiatives for those that are hard workers or putting their hand to the plow and got something established. Just like I won't even try to toot us up, but like those that like your bronze, you see he humbly coming through and supporting the show. I think Bilal is helping to support. We have to promote everything that's going on that's righteous that could help us set a tone of the culture in our community. But it's a collective effort, right? We're collectively coming together for the wickedness, but for the righteousness, it seems as if we're more set up, divided in that sector. So appreciate that point, Deacon, man. So guess Bronze got something he want to speak towards it before we wrap it up. What say you, Watt?
I don't think it's gonna happen because we say let's make it happen. If that was the case, it would have been went down. Right? How long we been in this truth? I know y'all been in this truth a long time. I remember when I first started seeing y'all. So I might have been here a little bit before y'all. You know what I'm saying? We've been in this for some years.
All praise to the Most High. Let's give one for the Most High and the spirit of endurance in this race, knowing that it's a marathon.
And in saying that, we've been talking about the same things. Unity. Let's come together. Let's do this. Let's do that. Blah, blah. We need to support each other. And we've been saying that. Right? And I just came in here, man. When I came in this truth, I went crazy, right? I was speaking the language and everything, how, I didn't see nobody else speaking the language like that,
And I think still to this day, don't nobody got what is it, 3 songs now in
5.
Hebrew, right?
It's like 5.
Like 5 songs in complete Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. So, I thought everybody was gonna jump on board, but that's our culture, man. But the scripture that comes to mind for me about all of this is Malachi 3:6. Right? The Most High, he changed not. He changed not. He's the same. You know, and what has happened is we wake up today and everything is all different. You know, because the world changes. And they use that as an excuse to just get more and more wicked. You know? They're changing, but they're becoming more wicked. So really all they're trying to do is move away from what the Most High originally set up, right? And here we are trying to go back to what's original, and they calling us a cult. Right?
Yeah.
I know a lot of us probably heard that song for the holidays that came out a few years ago, you know what I'm saying, to the Spirit of the Most High. You know. But they're saying we're in the cult, right? But see, Malachi 3:6, I am the Most High, I change not. So he's the same Most High today that he was back then. His laws don't change, right? He ain't bringing no new laws. He ain't taking no laws away. He ain't switching how laws are followed, right? He set up one law, and it's been the same. So no matter what happens through time, how long we discontinue from our heritage, whenever we want to look back, right, at them tablets, right? They call them tabloids today, right? No, we got the tablets that Moses came down from Mount Sinai with, right? That's the only news that we need to be following. That's right. We will always be able to go back to them tablets because the Most High changed not. And why does he not change? Can somebody finish that scripture for me?
Okay. Therefore, you sons of Jacob shall not be consumed.
Are not consumed. So we are not consumed so that we're not lost. Can you imagine us waking up today, figuring out that we the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible, and not having a law to cling to? We got no bread. We got no breadcrumb back home, right?
No way. No way to go, man.
So that's our culture. That's our cult, right? Culture ain't nothing but an extension of the word cult. Right?
Come on.
That's it.
Man.
And that's what was laid out. You know, through the first 5 books, and then boom, we hit the prophets until Malachi. Malachi is the last book. And then the scripture we just brought out, Malachi 3:6, that's the last book of the prophets. Before we go into the New Testament. So I don't think it's a coincidence that leaving out of the prophet, he tells us that. I'm never going to change. So that you guys have an anchor. And that's the last book of the prophets. Okay, now boom, let's go. Matthew, let's get this New Testament. You see that?
Just because the New Testament comes in don't mean there's something like Christ said, I ain't come to destroy.
But he just pointed out something that was so key that just hit me in a whole different kind of way. He said he stays the same and change not so that we don't be consumed. He's an anchor for us. So it's like, okay, since he don't never change,
we still got a way back to the righteous way of doing things.
So if he already set the tone, set the standard, and it's not gonna ever change, if anything, like we said years ago, Christ set the bar up. The bar wasn't lowered so we can do whatever we want. The bar was set up. You can't just go burn a sacrifice no more like you want to no more when you mess up. You can't just sweep it under the rug and wait for the for atonement to come around and different things like that. You got to put some work in now. You got to show and prove.
I got the scripture for it, right? So, cause you bring it out, but it's key, like you said. He says, "I change not." So what I've enforced, what I've put in place, doesn't change, right? But because I don't change, there's no way you will be fully consumed in wickedness. It's no way. I don't care how bad the earth gets, how much we're bringing out culturally. We've gone astray. Because he's the same today, tomorrow
and forever.
Forever.
It's still
the
an
Alpha and the Omega.
Right.
Fetch.
But this is the process that we have to go through, even in the midst of all these cultural differences, and setting the tone for the Hamashiach or Christ to do what it's already written he must do. Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of a higher. Right? So we got to do a part 2, because we said we ain't into it. We about to get ready to wrap it up, right? But he says he beseech us. He's petitioning to us by the mercy.
I'm named after that scripture you getting ready to drop. That's where I got my name from. But go ahead. You got it.
Come. And I make sure you point it out, right? So he's pretty much pleading with us, brothers and sisters, even through everything we've shown. Though we planned on, bringing it all the way home for the righteous. That's why we had to do a part 2. But even through everything we've seen up into what we're speaking about now, even in the midst of that, by the mercies of a higher, that each and every individual share this video, right? That ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto a higher, or unto God, which is your reasonable service. Is that not reasonable?
And the key word is in there is reasonable.
It's not over. It's not too much. It's not overbearing.
It's a just right balance.
Right. So
you should want to do this.
Yes. Exactly. It should be your first thought, not your second thought. We shouldn't be second guessing wanting to do right by our neighbor. We shouldn't be second guessing, hey, if you do something to tee me off, whether I should or shouldn't tell you off. What kind of culture is we breeding? We're having. That's a double-minded mindset. Just think, hey, if that was me, the first mindset, because we gotta start reconditioning ourselves. First mindset, hey, man, I ain't mean it like that. Boom. Let's take a mindset of neutralizing stuff. But that's just an example. Go ahead, Doc.
Right. So, but without the light, see, that's why Christ said, now that I've come into the world, darkness no longer can just operate, because light has what? Come into the earth. That's why we're speaking on and shining a light on the cultures in our community. We just shut our mouth, zip it up, and let it continue to run rapid? It's a battle, family, for the souls of your children. If us as adults, the adults on here, the grandparents on here, don't say nothing and don't get this word out and help TBT and the elders and all those that's standing for righteousness and proclaiming this light, if you don't help push this message, this culture will run rapid in your household. Period.
I got
But
one
as reasonable, as servants, And if we're saying we're yielding our temples to be holy, acceptable, and to do the reasonable service, right? So that what? Verse 2. That what? And be not conformed to this world.
Come back.
Which is the cultures that we are identifying. Man, if we don't yield ourselves up for that service, it's gonna run rapid. But be ye transformed. Cause see, if we yield ourselves up, we can open up a door and an opportunity or a space for one to do what? Be ye transformed by the renewing of what? Their minds. That they may what? Prove what is good and acceptable in the perfect will of a higher.
Right. So my first name was Maverick Bronze. You know, and the Maverick is to go the opposite way from the way everybody else is going, to not conform. You know, and that's why I say names are powerful, man, because, man, everybody going this way, me.
Bang.
You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, and it's been working out like that. Like, why is he going that way? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's safe. It's a safe way, you know? And I realized, you know, so many times, year in and year out, that the Most High has guided the way, you know, and coming to Him, that was my prayer, you know, to do with me what He wanted to do with me. I didn't care if I was loved or hated, Father, long as you love me, you know what I'm saying? And He said, okay, I got one I could use. And he been doing that, you know what I'm saying? So all glory, man, be to the Most High, man. A higher. You know, and let's stop being afraid, y'all. You know, we got culture, man. Like I was saying on the track, we got everything. Right? He gave it to us already. We just got to go back to it. Don't be afraid to go back to it. Right? Because who gonna stand on it? If we don't stand on it, it's ours. We the Hebrews, ain't we? We the Israelites. We need to do what Israelites is doing.
Right.
And we don't got to worry about manifesting something different all the time and keeping up with the Joneses and all. We ain't got to worry about that. We have this etched in stone law that Moses gave us and that Christ came and backed, right? We have all that. Like you were saying, we have the mitris, we have the fringes, you know, and let's feel good about that. You know what I'm saying? Let's get in our uniforms. You know, you ain't got to do it every day. You know what I'm saying? We could throw in a monkey suit, you know, if we feel like it.
Use a little
you
wisdom.
know, put a bow tie on if we want to sometimes. And hey, you know what I mean? But I mean, man, let's embrace our culture that we already got, because it's new to them. It's new to them. And I know it's got to make the Most High proud. You know, like, look at my children. You know what I'm saying? In a world where this was missing for so long, my children are back. You know, not trying to do something different, not trying to compete with the modern world, which is cool, because that's cool too. Be all things to all men, so we gain a few. You know what I'm saying?
Just thinking that same thing, boy.
You know, so it's cool to go down to Texas and put on a big cowboy hat and some boots. And go preach the word to some cowboys, right?
Come on. And if that's what He put on us to do, that's what we would have to do. So, in closing, man, we do have a culture. But it's good to be aware of
Absolutely.
the enemy's, plots and snares that he's trying to lay before us. Because all around us, what we've spoken on up until this point is the broad culture. The broad culture. But here soon, this narrow culture that we are looking to promote and submitting ourselves to, it's going to be so valuable. So let's continue to promote it. Let's continue to walk in it, exhibit it, right? Showcase it without being ashamed. Because like Christ says, he says, if you be ashamed of me before men, I will be ashamed of you before the Heavenly Father as I go before his throne and petition for it. He's the only reason why this thing is still going on right now. So if we're being ashamed of him and the culture that he's given us, it won't be pretty when we got to go before the judge, man. So Brother Brown, we appreciate you coming through. We appreciate everyone, sticking in with us. We found out what's not the culture. If you all would like, we'll do a part 2 here coming soon. It may be next week or the following, somewhere up in there. But we had to have this discussion, and we appreciate all the input, all of the comments, the love, the likes, the shares, and everybody that came through. Man, family, hey, let's continue to build this kingdom. Let's continue to lift each other up in prayer and support as much as we can. Let's create that culture that we're speaking about and being opposing to the culture that we said is not it. With that, man,
like, comment, subscribe, and make sure y'all tell somebody that TBT Radio just went live.
And with that, we're going to pray on it, and we're going to stay on it. Y'all have a blessed one.
Yeah, we're going to play that everybody capping now.
Yeah.
King Taz of Wall.
Talking about this truth.
Is you really about
Stop
this truth?
capping. But is they really about it?
Everybody cap, say a lot of words, but they ain't about action. I was in this world and it wasn't about nothing. Now I'm in this truth and I'm liking what's happening. Everybody cap, say a lot of words, but they ain't about action. I was in this world and it wasn't about nothing. Now I'm in this truth and I'm liking what's happening. This my house, take your cap off. I got my strap on, I don't take my strap off. I'm guarded by angels, this in case it pop off. Christ coming back, knocking tops off. Including harlots with they tops off. I gotta go hard, I can't go soft. You know what I'm on, I ain't going off. I'm feeling like the man of the cloth. What I'm gonna do with all the sauce? I picked up my cross, I ain't getting tossed. I gave up my whole life, cause that's what it costs. I got new life, now I think I got everybody cap, say a lot of words, but they ain't about action. I was in this world and it wasn't about nothing. Now I'm in this truth and I'm liking what's happening. Everybody cap, say a lot of words, but they ain't about action. I was in this world and it wasn't about nothing. Now I'm in this truth and I'm liking what's happening. I got all I need and a little more. This the highest work, what you hating for? I pray I gain interest to the kingdom door.